Immediately hit with a DMCA strike. Good afternoon and welcome to this week's episode of Eat, Crit and Survive, where a bunch of friends have gathered in the same room for once, and there is one person behind the person in the pink shirt, but we are here to play some Dungeons & Dragons. There we go. If I do that, that's better.
And Dom can be seen.
Yeah, can hear.
We can see everyone. I just have to make sure I gestured behind this camera rather than in front of it. Yes, hello, we are back once again to play some D&D. We are in our 12th episode now. We are level 4, and
Level 4.
we're going to see how it goes.
And you said we changed over to D&D 1 now, right?
Yeah, D&D 1,
we're in D&D 1.
D&D 1, right.
Playing
so
all that...
I would like to build a
yourself.
nuclear warhead, and if I crit, it's an auto-success.
Yeah.
No!
There was a 2.
You missed the 0.
My arms are missing.
And your face.
I found nuclear waste and handled it improperly.
But yes,
Alright.
we are
If
back.
anyone else thinks what I think, that's a silly idea. Natural 20s
We
on skill
were
checks.
talking about this, like, if...
It's up to the DM whether to allow you to roll or not.
Rules as written, Dom. Rules
Rules
as written.
written. If I wanna
Eventually
do
it is about
anything.
to get
sure.
weird.
I'm pretty sure rules as written, the DM's word is final.
I repeat, go fuck yourself.
Fine, I'll take me in my player's handbook somewhere else where it's appreciated.
No, Connor, because you'll have to...
Even if he does roll a natural 20.
You'd have to buy a new player's handbook as well, because it will be...
D&D Beyond. It'll all be updated.
Yeah. I don't know.
You'll have to have a legacy player's handbook now.
You must
Yeah.
be able to switch between, like, editions.
God,
Imagine if they uploaded, like, first ever
I
D&D
created
rules.
a character on D&D Beyond recently.
Mm.
It was already referring to lots of races as a legacy.
It's because they re-released a bunch of them as part of the... Is it Mordenkainen's Multiverse of Everything, or whatever it is?
Monsters of the Multiverse.
Yeah, something like that. And they
That's
basically...
film, isn't it?
Yeah. They've taken... Dr. Mordenkainen, thank you. They've just taken all of the races that were in, like, Volos and things like that, and they've just sort of... And the original Mordenkainen's book, and they've just sort of smashed them into one. You're right there, Ross.
Yeah, just having fun, sorry.
Trying to find the Wi-Fi.
You also see that they only allow you to, when you crit, you only double the weapon damage dice.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Did you just
Sneak
move that?
attacks.
No, I just moved this one.
And smite.
Smite.
Oh.
Sneak attacks. Your
That's
Does
the
what?
fun
It
bit,
does
is
what?
running
What?
the
roll.
new crit system
fun
that they're
bit?
trialing at the moment. When you crit, you only re-roll your weapon dice.
Or
So
spell.
if you
No.
if you're a paladin and you add smite or sneak
You
attack
roll
as
all
a
the dice. You double the
no,
dice.
you just
That's
roll
the
your
rule.
one extra dice.
You double the dice.
All
That's
you
the
math
rule.
rock crack addicts. One dice.
Which is
I'm
unfortunate
glad I
because...
played my
Paladin already,
my
and your rogue.
assassin and my paladin.
Well, I don't need
before
none of
all
these
this
anymore.
You just need
No.
So what you're saying, Connor, is we all need to be psychopaths with just one set of dice.
yeah. Get rid of all these trays.
God.
Oh God.
I'm already there.
They say they're closer than you think.
We know that's just your travel dice.
Yeah, that is true, yes.
That's your emergency dice you keep in your car.
in the glove box in case a D&D session
Quickly
breaks
bailing
out.
out the
Keeps it on
house,
the
yeah.
dashboard in case of emergency.
Crack the
Break glass.
Yeah, there we go.
The decoy dice.
Whoever gets into a road rage incident and cracks them out. Well, does anyone want to solve it?
Roll for initiative.
To de-escalate pressure.
It's just out with an air horn.
You know what, for fun, I might just do that in the edit and just put that noise over it if I ever make you roll initiative.
I want a different noise.
The
No.
great thing with what you've got on there, you can add a soundboard to
Yeah.
I know I can.
Yeah,
That's just about
I
to
do it
say.
when I stream and just bleep out swear words, and it makes swearing entertaining.
Hey, Adam
Happy
Putner.
Friday to you.
Sorry, what?
Welcome back, Adam Putner. Thank you for coming along to our D&D session. Last week it was board games. Today it's D&D.
Wednesday it was board games.
Wednesday was board games. He's back.
Now,
You have a recurring customer.
Customer?
Well, punter, viewer, person.
Did you buy anything?
fellow human.
Collecting
we can't be sure.
We can't be sure.
Fellow,
But
The number of bots that we've unlocked.
Twitcher.
Are you a bot?
fellow Twitcher.
His camera's
No.
his camera's hit.
Bot.
I just want to see the
What's the little?
response.
The little symbols next.
Little
to it?
symbols means that we can block
What?
him, time him out, or
Or
delete
just delete
his
it, no.
comment.
And I
Oh,
believe-
behave.
And I believe that just means that he's got Prime. So
Oh, yeah. Prime sub.
I don't think it's
Which,
Prime sub. I think he's just got Prime Gaming.
I
think-
see
Yeah, probably.
Prime sub hasn't gone to us.
Although we did hit what 80 followers?
Nice.
Like in the
Yes.
middle of the game the other
We
day.
are, yeah, we're at 85 now.
80,
Gosh.
85
Oh, holding back my
people.
subscription then, just in case we get a big surge.
Just
It's the followers, not the subs.
Oh, just unfollow. Waiting in the wings.
How sad.
I think this is the only one that I don't have a follower goal on. To be fair, I don't put it
That's
on this screen.
People were here for the board games mostly.
In response, it looks like Adam is a bot because he has
He
Oh!
literally just came in, dropped his comment, got us all excited,
Yeah.
and then left.
He's usually at work. To be
He's-
fair,
Oh well, cost of living. and
He was
everything.
lurking the other
he usually
day,
does
so-
lurk. Yeah, it's fine.
At
Let's
least
not.
he
Let's
said
not.
hi. At least he
does.
has said
Let's
hi.
He's our most active chatter.
He is.
Let's, as Tom says, let's not bot shame and let's not, push away people who might be here watching
No,
us.
I'm engaging with my audience.
If there are bots,
It's the proper noun.
Right, one audience.
bots of the future.
Well,
So's Adam. His future's brighter than mine.
future's orange.
Oh,
Showing your age there, darling.
I know, right?
it's orange. Gosh.
Anyway,
what's orange got to do?
I have no idea.
What's
Orange
orange
Wednesdays.
got to do with Orange
Ah,
Wednesdays.
2-1.
Yeah,
The future's orange.
That got me through.
the future's bold. The
That's
future's
God.
orange.
that's how I watched
They
most
did
of
Before
my
it was
films.
EE.
I think they merged. Yeah,
Yeah,
they became three.
EE kind of took them and 3 and kind of combined them along with
What
what
if
they
we
had.
took two mediocre services and put them together to create
To make
one
one
Super
large-
mediocre.
Well, there goes our.
There goes our subscription, our sponsorship.
Oh well, everything everywhere apart from when you need it. That's normally what I say, and I'm on it.
Yeah.
It's, oh my god, I've been in the car crash. I need to find something. Of course. Does anyone have the one? For
Yeah,
me?
but you can still use maps or WhatsApp.
WhatsApp was a big one. I thought.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like great.
I don't
Can I
text
actually
anyone.
phone someone?
It all goes through WhatsApp.
Oh no, message.
Can't remember the last time I rang someone through my actual phone, not on WhatsApp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or over Wi-Fi now. It's all just Wi-Fi phones.
Yeah,
Like, I
when
just-
I finally got good Wi-Fi in the house. Well,
Is the new place look like it got good Wi-Fi?
not like it was one of the first questions I asked.
There you go. He's not an amateur.
This is great and everything, but what's your download?
Anyway,
Doesn't have a front door, but it does have high speed internet.
Full fibre, I'll have you know.
it's full fibre
Oh,
because
nice.
we've got the optic cable just plugged into it. We just got it through the front door.
Directly.
Yeah, no, just run it through the window. We'll never shut it. Be alright.
Just because it's
Yeah,
fine.
it's fine. Can't afford to heat the place, so might as well
Might as
be
well
cold.
be
Alrighty then. So, Connor, would you like to tell us what
This-
happened last time?
Yeah,
Apparently,
I forgot
look,
this
so
thing.
I was doodling a lot through this, drawing the Cathedral City Cave store. So it's more like bullet points for this one. So I've titled it Session 11: A Ghostly Takeover because I named it before we started. A lovely matinee is performed by the possessed 3 party members. And then I've just noted down that it's Yonda's Vineyard. It's also called the Moon Theatre, which I thought was a good name. There was a secret wine cellar, and we've stolen 13 bottles, and it's in your bag of holding.
Along with a few wheels of
actually in
cheese and
think
a
Laura did
load
put
of
it
grapes.
for you.
Oh yeah,
Can't remember
this
if I put
was
it
a
in
good
there.
one for what you pointed out. We were in a cave of worked stone filled with white shards like bone and giant Rolos.
Giant Rolos.
And after that, I've just got the Cheese Guardian emerges. Don't get hit by lightning again.
Ta-da!
I think that sums up a lot, really.
So,
Yes.
for more context,
Yes,
the party
please.
had travelled to this location, so heading south as part of their adventure, and they had come across this vineyard that had been long time growing.
Giant Rolos.
You went up some stairs up to one of the hills to find out what was at the top, and you found that there was a theatre sunken into the stone that had been there for a long, long time. Having decided not to immediately rush in and having a conversation about why 2 people appear to be undead, and putting a dragon onto a griffin,
Smoky.
you 4 of you went down into the cave, or into the sort of the green room underneath the theatre to find out what was going on. Were attacked by a crimson mist, which then unleashed some ghosts, which then immediately possessed Grit, Cassian, and the third one tried to possess someone else.
No,
and
there was 3 of us.
They tried to possess you, and they didn't, and then they possessed you, I believe.
Yes. I was definitely possessed.
Yeah, one of the charismatic ones failed. The Christmas save. You went up top, and you were told to take your seat, and then a play took place, or the last scenes of a play took place, which provided information. You're right there, Matthew.
Yep.
Rip it off like a band-aid.
Releasing
There
gas.
we go.
Matthew is releasing gas slowly.
Again.
Kind of methane leak.
Thank God I've opened this window. You had the play performance, which told you that this place was called Yonda's Vineyard, and that this theatre was called the Moon Theatre. You went around for a little while and found some more of the buildings were relatively intact. Some were completely destroyed and rubbled, but you did find some which were a good place to shelter. You also found a cave, and inside that cave, that was covered by moss-covered rocks, you found cheese.
Giant Frolos.
Giant
Rolos.
rolos of cheese.
And also a bone naga and some undead
Not
snakes.
so tasty.
Which
I mean,
Which
we haven't
produced
tried
lightning.
it
True, we haven't tried. Did we try the cheese?
You
yet. We
have
haven't
tried the
eaten
cheese.
bone naga.
Thunderbolts and lightning were very
We didn't try eating the bone naga.
Galileo.
It tried eating us.
But having defeated the bone naga, you then went and had a rest. You then
Thank goodness.
gained some experience and leveled up. So,
I think you brushed over the whole pie nearly dying bit real easily, but
I mean, that's every
What do you mean?
combat.
What do you mean nearly dying?
you're level 4.
I'm alright.
I'm alright now.
We've had a long rest since then.
Yeah.
Oh, we
I'm
actually-
just adding my cheese and wine. It was cheese and wine in the bag.
Cheese and wine, yes.
Okay. It was
And grapes.
okay.
And some massive grapes.
Okay.
Well,
It was
this one-
13 bottles of wine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just need to press this plus button the whole time.
Hot fire.
And then,
I would say it's fancy wine, but it
yeah,
doesn't
did the
matter.
wine get appraised at all? Is my question.
I mean, given that the only person who has drunk wine ever, it was good wine.
It was good.
Estimated value?
At least 50 gold pieces per
I
bottle.
will just enter that in right now.
What's gold?
What?
This!
Oh yeah, you
I
got...
can Harry Potter it out. I'll take the lot.
Oh yeah. You found a.
I have
You
done.
found a little
I found a
coin.
little copper piece in the cave.
And cheese wheels.
I
There
think
were.
I've got 1 cheese,
Wensleydale.
And there were wheels, like.
They were proper
Yeah.
wheels.
so maybe I don't have 1 cheese. I have 1 bit of cheese. Or maybe I just wrote down 1 cheese and I probably would give it to you.
So I have 1 cheese
Well,
and
you could just
bag
have
holding.
cheese.
You could just have the cheese.
They're not. Yeah, there are
Yeah,
some
what?
smaller wheels. They're
Oh,
not.
I'll take
There's
the
not like.
small-
There's not like that thing from James May, the man in Italy,
Oh,
the
yeah.
massive wheels of cheese
Okay,
that are
I'll
about the
put in
size of a tire.
brackets
10
small.
kilo wheel.
There are some tire
I'll
sized
take
cheese,
some
but they're
small
like small
cheese.
platelet size.
That's fine.
My main question is how many do I have in my bag?
I mean, it's an open cave that you could go and put as much cheese as you would like.
Yeah, I don't
I would
think
take
we can-
5.
We've
5
got
wheels of
13
cheese.
I have
bottles of
appraised
wine,
them
we
at
might have
50
13.
gold
We just need
pieces
some
also.
crackers.
Sure.
I reckon the next
Cracker.
cave along. The next cave
Cracker.
along's got to be the cracker store.
There's going to be a weird
Giant
tree.
crab.
It's going to be a
The
tree
pickle pits.
with leaves made of crackers.
And we said some grapes as well.
Disadvantage
Yeah, but they're
for
like
Dom.
huge. They're like
For guessing the pickle.
you were there with that one.
Like a
weren't you?
rugby ball.
Excuse me.
Big grapes. They were big grapes.
They were
weren't
big gra- they
oh
were
no,
big-
they were the size of like apples.
They're like apple-sized grapes.
We-
I
I think
believe
we-
cantaloupe was used.
Cantaloupe was used, but I was wrong
Ah,
because I'd forgotten my own sizing
I
metric.
think we put because there was 2 different colours.
How many kittens?
2 different colours, 2 different types of grape, wasn't there?
There were red and white grapes. Yes.
And there was, I think we had got 10 of each, or 15 of each.
Sorry, there was a lot of things said then.
a heavy baseline happening outside.
There's two colours of grapes, and we got either 10 or 15 of each.
10 of each.
10 of
Oh, no.
each, so 20 grapes. in total.
I'm just going to put 20.
That's
Someone
fine.
walks past.
Massive
Apple
grapes.
sized.
Apple-sized grapes.
Apple-sized
I
grapes.
said grape, then brackets, apple sized.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
now
far less
we've got-
impressive. It's just regular grapes.
Inventory has been complete. And I'm going to praise the grapes at 50 gold each.
Sure.
Sure.
Absolutely fine. That's what
Oh,
we
the
can tell the
size-
people that will sell them to.
Size of 50 grapes, 1 gold piece of grape.
Yeah.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
God, grapes
Alright.
are
Yeah.
spinning.
We're going to be minted when someone invents currency.
So,
Why haven't you done that yet? You know what it is.
I know what it is. Intelligence will make it.
yeah, he does,
Have
what,
any
he does, what, he also,
intelligence.
what he also doesn't have is a huge amount of
Same.
metal to just make coins.
No.
Oh, we're the same.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's why I got a skill in
You
nature,
know,
because
Smith
nature's
has a large
intelligent.
I'm pretty sure if I
Metal.
said to you we
Yeah.
need to make a mint, you would go looking for.
Polos.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought they were Rolos, so you know.
You know, there we go.
Polo Rolos.
So,
Mm.
with that evening done and you all fully rested, is there anything you would like to do whilst Tom is...
I accidentally rolled a dice. It was a 1.
A good omen!
Yeah,
That's
get
why
them
I'm
out of the
using
way.
real
No, you get
dice.
them out of the way. I don't trust the digital
No.
dice.
I learned not to trust it. In the
If
last
I'm going to
Roll
fail, I'll
10,
fail
yeah.
on my own terms. Thank you. I won't
And you
let the
do.
robots
Roll
tell
7.
me otherwise.
So what are you guys doing?
Second wind.
We woken up. Was it night time or did we just have a long rest?
We've just had a long rest. It is morning.
Morning.
It
Closer otherwise are we to the river we were following?
Not that far. You're within walk, a couple of minutes walk.
I do have to ask the question. Where are we going and why?
We were heading towards the Eastern Canyon.
I just think that this is such a lovely place. Wine, cheese. Nice.
Not inexhaustible supplies.
Anything is, but we could make it last.
Is it reminding you of home?
I just think that it's very homely, isn't it? All this wine, all this cheese,
You can be
repairable buildings.
You remember home differently to me.
If we keep walking, we might find your sister. I mean, we know she's not here, so it makes sense to go look somewhere else.
I don't know, I feel if she was on this plane, this would be where we would find
Yes.
one of my relatives at least.
You've got a sister?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, it's fine, it's all
There's 3 of you?
Yes.
3 for now.
Why is she not here with you?
A failed fleeing attempt.
A difference
For-
of opinion, I think.
One person.
Okay.
The old saying, I don't have to be quicker than the threat, I just have to be quicker than you.
We were quicker than her.
Oh, how sad.
Yes, it's sad. Anyway,
Your lore is showing.
My lore is showing.
Moving on.
Okay then, so we're looking for a canyon and a sister.
if they could both be together, I mean,
Won't know until we find out.
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying,
we've got enough cheese and wine to take it with us, so you're not exactly going to be missing.
Would you like me to put more in the bag?
You can put more in the bag.
I'm just going to get at least 1 or 2 extra bottles of
Okay.
wine. I'll be right
Sure.
back.
That's fine.
And I'd have 1 or 2 extra bottles.
Go back to the theatre and get some more wine.
There you go, Ross. 1.
just found a particularly nice one.
Yeah.
Nice looking
I take
one.
my time.
Dusty. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I take your point about this being a relatively nice place. If we do end up back at Seven Home at some point, we could leave another group of settlers here, maybe, if they want to come.
Or we could keep this place to ourselves.
I mean, we could. There's no one else around here, and we don't have to tell anybody. But I think we kind of need to keep
We
going.
could just mark it down on the map as extremely dangerous.
We
I'll
can.
see what Winsome thinks of all this duplicity.
Winsome is making some sketches in the map and just looking up every so often when something like extremely dangerous is mentioned. He's like,
I mean,
Alcohol
was
in large
a-
quantities can be dangerous, Winsome.
there was a huge bone monster. There could be more. We don't know. We don't want to bring people here, tell them it's nice and full of cheese and wine, and then they get eaten like the cheese and wine, probably on some nice crackers by a big bone monster.
It sounded kind of Old Testament, but very middle class. Milk and honey, except it's not.
land of wine and cheese.
So we'll
The
put
moon.
a pin in it, take some cheese for the road, and let's go and find this canyon.
Yeah, more exploration.
More
You
exploration.
might find something
More
better than
For this time with wine. Yeah.
Thump.
If it helps, you could just drink on the way.
No.
No.
Connor doesn't want exhaustion point.
Just staggers into a river every so often. It's like, uh-oh.
More leeches.
Is it saying that you can actually get drunk if you're undead?
Well, he doesn't need to eat,
Says
technically.
I don't need to eat or drink, so it's technically very wasteful.
Yeah, but can you get drunk is a different question if you need to.
I think that's a question for the DM.
You can certainly
I,
try.
I believe Luke's about to say, fuck about and find out.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think you call it embalmed.
Challenge accepted.
Yes. You're undead, you can't get drunk.
Try me.
But, yeah.
Well, you can't get dead drunk.
Roll a con save.
Alright.
Hey, you can't get liver poisoning.
But I can walk up.
I haven't got a liver anymore, so.
Well, someone stole it.
Yeah, it was inconvenient.
That's really sad.
That was a joke.
I didn't hear it. I was just
Yeah,
Yeah,
nodding
just
politely.
nodding because
Yeah, I missed it.
made along with the
Luke
joke.
said you don't have a liver anymore, so someone stole it.
Probably.
Don't need
Sorry.
it.
That,
I
that,
got
that
it.
was a good
Yeah.
sleight of hand check.
I got a peckish one night.
Someone
Well,
rolled a natural 20.
Calibar!
Does it grow back?
Livers? Yeah.
yeah, they do. But you have
Yeah,
to have
you have
a
to have
piece
some of
of
it
liver
left.
first.
Yeah, there might have been a little bit left behind.
I'm sure he's eaten a piece of liver at some point.
Probably.
Anyway,
A long rest is a wonderful thing.
all these brutally fatal wounds I had yesterday have suddenly got away.
Basically. Head back to the river.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep following the river.
Sure.
Let's
Alright.
go.
Okay.
Alright. You continue heading south, and over the next 4 days of travel, it is relatively uneventful. You see a number of creatures off in the distance, all towards the coast and on the other side of the canal, such as deer and boar moving about in their various herds. Overhead, shadows pass above you as flocks of birds migrate northwards. One particular shadow that is spotted is one of a creature with a gargantuan form, or at least assumed to be based on how high in the sky it is, and how much detail you're actually able to make out from it. The tail feathers are long and trailing, shimmering with colour. So the wings are wide and radiant, and the head's seemingly like that of a wolf. It passes overhead a few times over the course of your walk, but does not seem to get any closer. It just seems to be flying about. As you walk, you find that the hills eventually drop away into flatter terrain after about a day or so. Here, the river has broken away into small ponds, much like just flooding out of an artery. And the change in terrain gives a much lusher feel to this part of the world. There are a lot of flowers that are growing with a pure rainbow of colours and quite high grasses, sort of coming up to about your nose, Grit.
Yay, hay fever.
But some of the flowers have incredibly short stems, but have massive flowers on them. There are plants which are, no more than a foot high, but their petals stretch 2 feet per petal.
Dang.
There are bluebell and daffodil-like flowers that stretch high into the sky, into the air, and could completely envelop a person within their bells.
Cool.
During this 4 days or so of travel, is there anything that you would like to discuss or do for yourselves? As you'll be travelling sort of roughly about 8 hours a day, you'll have time to rest, do things.
I'd like to spend a bit of time trying to draw up ideas of saddles for Desh.
Okay. Make an intelligence check for me.
Yeah, this can only go well. Intelligence, you say?
I do.
Yeah. 14.
14. Are you proficient with leather?
Probably not.
Are you proficient with any... Wait, I know you're proficient with at all.
Proficient in being a troll.
Yeah.
Dice, playing cards,
in these
or
things.
yes.
You could just ask for help.
Dice, cards, and...
disguise kits.
Okay, so
So
when I said everyone needed a
You
trade,
should pretend you had a trade
yeah,
with a disguise skin.
Exactly.
you
Just disguise that you're something with a side a little bit.
Village people member now.
One day I'm a policeman, next time a cowboy.
But I don't want you all get caught by the DMCA.
there you go. So you have some rough ideas, and you start sort of sketching things out on a piece of vellum that you have just stuffed into your pouch. You are fairly. Yeah, you don't know how you would be able to do this. Sorry, earthquake. I moved my foot slightly. You're not entirely certain how.
to the right.
You're not certain how you would do this. You
Uh-huh.
would probably need someone who is, skilled at working in leather
Yeah.
in order to do so. But oh, the other thing you should probably make a note of in your bag of holding is the hide of a ghost boar
Oh yes.
that is untreated.
I am
Nice.
proficient in leather working tools.
Okay,
I missed it last time. I am.
that's good. So you would
Not specifically.
working. So.
Probably not. But if you give me a day, I could.
Of course, yes.
just make stuff out of wood.
Slightly ironic.
Hide of a ghost boar.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's not proficient in wood making tools, so it's really convoluted.
I will add custom item. Thank you.
So you have that. You have the hide, but it is not cured. So something to be aware of. Anyone else, whilst Ross is updating his stuff, and you have your plans for saddling?
I would probably make some notes about the various flora we encounter, especially these massive flowers.
Okay. Make a nature check for me, just for the purposes of detail and such.
Pick wisely. It's a 9.
9. Okay. You make notes. You draw pictures. They're legible to you. They make sense.
To me.
For now.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to flower press one of those massive flowers.
Has anyone got a mattress I can put?
There are smaller versions of these same flowers, but for the most part they are massive.
Winsome could make
Winsome does do some drawings.
yours.
Do any of these flowers or wildlife look as if they have any cooking properties?
Make a
Spices?
nature check.
Nature.
Yes. You would have proficiency in this if you do not already.
Half. So
So add another 1 to it.
7.
Could be.
Yes, bard.
Oh,
Jack of all
yeah,
trades.
Jack of all trades, yeah. Level 3. These foods could indeed have some edible properties.
Fantastic. I'll pluck a few confidently.
Okay.
I'm going to kill someone.
Alright.
This week on Kitchen Night.
Gordon visits a chef who's got no idea what he's doing.
Storing cooked and uncooked in the same shelf.
oh,
Yeah.
using the same knife for
same bag of
everything.
Okay. Anyone else?
I think I washed my hands in the last millennia.
At some point, I fell in a river at one point.
Casting Saria and Grit.
You
Anything you want
tried
to
to wash your hands, but you ended up doing push-ups on the river. So, Elijah, Klaus,
Hello.
do you kind of feel being on your father and your sister? What about any other family? Are there any more of you around?
Not in my memory.
Not wandering around, as far as I know.
Yeah, no longer
Or
living or breathing.
hope.
Oh, so you've lost your mother?
Thankfully.
I wouldn't say lost. Misplaced.
Oh, is this another bit of the changing dimensions getaway thingy?
When you run, you kind of lose track of everything, I think.
Sure, let's go with that.
Okay. Don't want to talk about it. That's fine.
Oh no, there's not that much to talk about. Unless you do, don't have a clue when she is.
Nope.
So that
Okay.
was that sorted, yeah.
Sister first then.
Odds on her finding her.
Odds
But
on
not
her-
0.
Odds on her finding us, however.
Quite high.
Well, should we be like leaving messages behind then? So she can
Absolutely
catch
not.
No. I
So
believe that there's
you want to find her.
I'd like to
but
find her, but it's almost.
You don't want her to find you. You want to surprise her?
if we find her, we have the upper hand. However, I believe there's a phrase that was once used by people several thousand years ago, Daddy's little girl. She is the epitome of that phrase.
Would like to find one without the other, is what my brother's trying to get across simply. Or none at all.
I mean, if she was trying to get away with you, then
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
she can't be just like your dad.
Nobody is just like our dad.
We're a special bunch.
One
Yeah,
way
of
describing
course.
it.
You can do all that cool stuff, like walk up walls.
Cassian's just going to walk up and be like, did I miss something?
Nope,
And
nothing.
World's best apple bobbers.
cool. I mean, these grapes are the size of apples. Do you think we could do it with them as
We
well?
could definitely have an apple bobbing competition. At
I
some
mean, there's a
point.
river. We're right next to a river. Do you want to
We
go
want to get your grapes in there and you don't know what's in there.
in a river?
Yeah, you need a
Mm.
Do
container.
you want to stick your face in the place where all those leeches were?
Things might have died in that
That's a
river.
very good point.
No more leeches.
I'm
thank
sure.
Oh, yeah.
I slowly just step away from the river. It's like no.
All of a sudden, not so fun.
No.
You haven't seen any leeches in this part of in the river. You've
Yeah,
seen it in that sort of the lake
I didn't
system.
see them before they latched onto my face. the last time.
They were just there.
Nor did I see the giant scorpion that followed it.
I did.
It's like, I'm just going to stay up here. Oh no, Dash is tired.
Oh no.
Sad balloon.
Okay.
But yeah, no, not much to say, not much to find. If we don't find either of them, not all that bothered.
No skin off anyone's nose.
No, not really.
Cassian just doesn't.
Cassian, you're being asked a question.
Cassian comically just misses all the conversations about everything that important that they've been saying, but just jumps in every now and then. And just,
Okay.
Yeah, so he doesn't know anything
All right.
apart from he thinks they have a sister, maybe not, and they like apple bobbing.
I do like it.
That's a family.
I'm gonna yeah.
And you have the internal question, of course, of is she hot?
What?
Is she hot?
No. Shush.
She is.
I didn't. No. Shush.
I mean, Cassian's a bit-
Shh! Don't tell me what my character will do. Brothers like apple bobbing.
Cassian was being asked a question. Though.
Yes.
Cassie was being asked a question. Can I remember what it was? Yeah.
Sorry, I just was thinking how
A
good.
while ago, you
Yeah,
said
Robin was.
something weird happened while you were fighting. Has anything else like that happened recently?
Nothing more has happened, but I feel like it keeps happening. So I did do it in the bone naga fight, didn't I? So even fighting like the big bone creature thing, I just felt like this energy, which I haven't really felt before that day at the wall or that night at the wall where I jumped over the wall. Not over the wall, I was on top of the wall. Then I jumped down the wall. Don't know why, but it just felt amazing. And then ever since then, I've just felt like I've got like a power inside me, and it just, yeah, but only when I'm hitting things.
Something has changed within me.
Just hitting things. Don't really feel it now.
Okay.
So
Something to keep an eye on.
if
maybe.
you could just
Yeah, I'll
keep an eye
watch out for unusual
when I start hitting things.
things when you're hitting things.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to hope we won't be hitting things anytime soon, but judging by how our journey's been going so far, it's probably going to happen sooner or later.
At least 50% of this
At that
time.
moment.
It didn't
Roll
work.
the ship. Blah!
It didn't work when you just hit the tree, either did it, when we were trying it out.
No.
That's how we
I
got
just-
Smokey.
That's how we do it. Yeah. Yeah!
Yes, you.
So, hitting things equals good things happen.
I got Smokey.
Smokey.
But I mean, if I go and hit this tree, I think it probably wouldn't like it. But yeah, so maybe not necessarily just hitting things. Maybe it's like a fight or flight reaction, and I'm just like full of adrenaline. It's just like, because to be fair, in that town we weren't exactly fighting things a lot.
Bah!
Did it work?
I mean, I nearly elbowed you in the face, but I don't think that quite worked. I mean, maybe. Let's try it again later, we'll see. It's just the fact they did actually get me.
Yeah.
What you said about not handling jump scares. Very
No,
well.
no, terrible.
Axe in the face.
Don't do it. So, I would appreciate it if I seem to be like, I don't know, something weird. Just let me know.
Okay, we'll do.
I'll watch out for all of you as well if you start punching things and looking weird.
You mean every day?
I mean, every day at the moment.
Yeah.
But like I say, I don't think any of us probably punched as many things as we have done in the last. How long have we been travelling?
I mean, this is like this is like the 9th week or so. That
9 weeks. God, 9 weeks.
10th week maybe. We're in the 10th.
To be
In the
fair,
10th week.
we were at
We did stop for 2 months.
where our
Newfound
home
Town.
was. Newfound Town.
Newfound Town was 2 months.
For a bit.
So yeah, it could just be the excitement of it all, and I'm very looking forward to this canyon. And this canyon's going to be exciting.
I'm sure it's going to be great.
Pretty sure it's far away.
It might also just be a canyon. We should just be prepared for that.
Do we actually know what a canyon is?
You know the vernacular. There's been descriptions of the locations based on information that has been passed down from Veden. From the gods. They have given some information about it, but obviously no one's actually seen it in
Yeah, okay.
1,000 years.
We could be
Like a
underestimating.
valley, but bigger.
Yeah, we could. It was more a case of we could be underestimating how big it is, how small it is. Just kind of, we know.
Yeah,
what
just
it
a small
is,
crack in the
but
garden.
Yeah.
I imagine like when initial explorers came back from wherever they've been, they draw like an elephant, and it'd be like, I don't know, 3 times bigger or 3 times smaller, or have like 2 trunks and that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how I'm imagining
Yeah.
this description of a canyon is.
Just like it's
Big
this,
hole.
It's this
Big
big hole
hole,
in the
But
ground.
not because it's long
Yeah. Big long hole.
and also really sheer,
Yeah.
but what kind of smooth?
No, let's carry on and try and find it.
Alright. So on the morning of the 5th day of travel, unless there was anything you wanted to do.
No,
correct?
not particularly. No, I was just enjoying that conversation.
Okay. On the morning of the 5th day after breaking camp, you
Oh, have we used rations and things?
would have done, yes. So mark off the 5 days worth of rations, unless anyone in particular wants to hunt. Or
I'll have a punt at it.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll have a punt at hunting as well.
alright,
Okay.
2 of you make survival checks then, either together or with
Punch
advantage.
Let's roll it.
Make a punt check.
Yeah. I rolled so well. Ooh. Wow.
Has the curse been broken?
Maybe. 19.
That's right then. 6.
So you're not very successful. But Isaria, you are very successful. So you managed to capture a couple of boar and a couple of deer,
Ghost boy.
just regular ones. Over the course of the next couple of days, you're able to capture them, skin them, break them down, and create them so that they are in position to be cooked into a
Barbecue every evening.
basically,
So,
rather
Did we say we
meaty.
used any rations?
No, you have managed to avoid the use of rations by the use of fresh meat
Yay.
and some suspicious leaves.
Yeah, I can't
Oh,
like
yeah.
banana wrap them.
Yeah.
Petunia leaf.
Everyone make a con save.
You know those plants that could envelop a human? Hot dog rolls.
Except we are the hot.
Yes. Wait.
just an entire boar.
Yes, on the morning of the 5th day, after you have broken camp, you are disturbed from your preparations to get going by a buzzing. Sort of
the wasp has come back.
droning and getting closer.
That's like the fifth
A
bit.
droning.
Yeah.
Can I see where this might be coming from?
Make a perception check.
Sorry, I left my razor on.
Thank God it was that.
19.
19. You don't see it, but you do manage to pick up where it's sort of coming from. It's coming from the sort of the southwest of where you are currently, which is sort of
Okay.
more in line with where the coastline is going from Desh going up and Winsome going up. And the coastline does sort of curve around a little bit. And
Okay.
you're coming
What's the lay of the land?
quite grassy. Grass is quite high. You sort of managed to get a nice bit that you've managed to stomp the grass down to create a nice little camp area near the
No-
river.
No trees.
No trees, a few flowers, but no big trees. or
Okay,
anything like that.
I'm gonna take Desh up
Okay, you can go up.
and see.
You look off into the distance, and sort of keep an eye out for it, then you see it. There's sort of like a black smudge, just sort of coming and getting closer and bigger.
I will, of course, alert my travelling companions
Mhm.
Alert! Alert!
to the incoming black thing that's
Yeah.
getting bigger.
Getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Crab eyes from Dunland.
Can we try and get away from it then?
Are you sure you
which
don't
way?
just mean a cloud? Are you sure it's not a really dark cloud?
Clouds aren't generally on the floor.
On the floor? You're
Above the
flying.
grass.
Why is it not in the sky?
I'm above it.
I mean, there's fog.
I get,
It is a bright, clear day, I
I
should
get
say.
a small
Bobs and
piece of
birds.
grass.
Sorry?
Small piece of grass and throw it. Is it moving in or against the wind?
Look, the grass doesn't.
You just want to know
Yeah,
which way the wind is
Here's the
going.
thing.
If
Oh,
I
the
throw it up, does the wind blow it towards it or backwards? I want to know if it's self-propelled or not.
Oh, I see.
You have
It's actually
intelligence of zero.
Is it close enough to do that?
you throw it up. It's a still day. There is no real wind that you
So
can feel at the
know it's
moment.
propelled.
Which way should we run to get away from it?
Which way is it coming from?
Well, it's coming from over this way.
I
I
go
turned and
that
ran the other way.
Okay.
Add up at 90 degrees to it, yeah.
Me and
Okay.
you just look at each other like, yep, go that way.
Okay, you run
We've done
to the
this
river
before.
and you hit the river.
Oh,
Literally like it's a walk.
Yeah, the river is suddenly doing this.
It goes up.
How wide is the river at this point?
River at this point is probably it's narrow. It's about 500 feet.
I was like it's coming towards us from the side, so we couldn't like run.
You can run up north, back north, the way you've come.
That's kind of...
Back on the riverbank, but running in the exact opposite direction to where they were coming
Right.
from takes you straight to the riverbank.
And there's no cover hereabouts. You said it.
There is the grass is. You could hide
Hide
in
the
the
grass.
I try and get behind the thing,
Sure, you can certainly try.
kind of round and try and basically track it.
You can certainly try and make a stealth check for Desh.
I'm going to drop into the grass.
Same.
Make a stealth check. Make a stealth check for those of you that are hiding.
Yeah, no, I'm dead.
Sure, I will
Do
also
I
make a
risk
stealth
it
check
on
if
my
everyone
not
else
bad dice?
with disadvantage.
Come on. With disadvantage.
I've got, but it's with disadvantage.
19.
19, okay.
Natural 20.
Nice.
22.
So you automatically succeed.
19.
19,
What was it? Stealth?
yes.
6.
Wow!
6!
Me and you were just clattering away.
I'm not even trying.
You just stand still.
I'm running down river.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you're running down, following the currents.
Yes, I'm
north.
not using these. I keep trying. I try once again. They don't
Yeah,
work.
because
River flows flowing north.
I mean, we were going south. Well,
You were going south, so you're going up river, which would be south, or down river, which is
Oh.
north.
up for which is south. We didn't pass any cover all the way ravine, so we'll keep going.
Sure.
Keep going. Maybe I'll find some cover.
Okay, you trot off. You dive into the grass and you just sort of clatter in your armour. You immediately trip over him and just land on top of the armour clattering and just sort of get tangled in a knot.
Oh god, we keep
You two
doing
sort of
this.
disappear into the grasses fairly stealthily. You flying around with Desh. As you get around these things, you get a bit better look at them.
Things.
Things. It is a swarm.
Ooh!
It is a swarm of giant bees.
Oh, I was waiting.
They are rugby ball sized.
Giant honey.
Okay.
Rugby ball sized bees
Tiny
that are
ones.
just as you're getting
Giant
closer.
slot of food.
As you're getting closer, and the rest of you are starting to hear this get closer, it is getting deafening now. As the sound of these things just.
How fast is the river flowing?
It's not that fast, but it's still relative.
How deep is the river?
You could stand. It is deeper than you are tall. It's about 10 feet deep.
If I was to jump in the river,
Yeah,
would I be swept away?
you're strong enough to swim against the current.
I'm going to get in the river. I'm going to just roll into the river. From what I know, insects don't do well in water. So,
Jump into the river.
Yep.
The bees fly around and they start spreading out, breaking off into different patterns and going to different flowers. And they're just sort of.
I'm going to do that thing where it's just like the water's in here.
Bees. Yes.
It all makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just really small.
Big bees.
As you're sort of doing this, Smokey is still stood in the middle of your campsite, completely nonplussed by this.
Good lad.
He just looks up and just sees him. And just carries on eating his breath. Oh yes, he could do that. He could just go. Winsome looks at Smokey and they have a quick conversation in Draconic. Winsome says, "Apparently these are not a problem unless you're actively attacking them."
Let's make it a problem.
Karate chopper bee.
Sure, Grit will stand
And I will pull myself out of the river and be like, well, that's good to know. And I just like start shaking
I still don't
myself
trust
off.
it.
Well, at least it means now, Cassian, you've had your annual bath.
I'll let you know that my hair is this fabulous because I don't overwash it. Thank you very much. So I just wring out my hair.
As you do, you suddenly feel something land on your head.
It's me.
Did I gain a fabulous hat when I was in that river?
Yes.
Well, that's good to know.
It's
I don't move. I stand. What?
It's beak-shaped.
It's a lovely fascinator. I stand
a
very
beeline.
still. I stand very still. Is it Smokey?
No,
I say, Smokey, is that you?
you can see Smokey. Smokey's like,
Smokey, that's not you.
You ask Smokey if that's Smokey.
Smokey, are you on my head?
he has one point. He's seen you do it. He's like. It's weird to watch a lizard try and shrug.
Yeah, I don't move. I just stand really still.
Takes off and just buzzes away and goes and finds a flower.
I will take that as a compliment. He obviously thought I was a beautiful flower. Anyway, shall we leave these giant insects to their business and we'll just keep on going that
Sorry,
way?
leave them to their business.
Yes, business. Is that what? Yes.
Sorry, I don't often come up with them.
No, I can tell.
Some of the, as you're sort of having this discussion and sort of watching this happen, some of the bees that have already gathered their nectar and pollen have already taken off and are heading back sort of south-southwest.
Do you want to follow them?
Would be a very good source of honey.
Yes, but do you want to take on that many bees of that much size?
No.
No.
Bees won't normally hurt you unless you're attacking them. So maybe there will just be some honey that we can freely.
Part of me feels like nothing in this world gives us anything freely apart from that cheese and wine. I
That
think we
wasn't
got
free. We had
very-
to kill a bone nugget for it.
Oh, we could have taken it and run.
It was blood cheese. From
This
an
could
animal
be
that
blood
can't
honey.
believe.
This could be blood honey.
Only if they choose war.
I think us
Secret bee
encroaching in
council.
on them
I love that he's
might...
going to start a global war. Bees versus everything
You kill
else.
one hive and a message goes out to all. The beacons are lit!
I hope that wasn't just a whole long joke.
I think the title
Oh,
of this
boy.
episode should be Warning Puns. Here then.
I don't mind if we
Speak
want
pun
to
and leave.
follow them. We can maybe see what they're doing, but if they're like normal bees, I don't really think I want to find out.
Maybe there's a beekeeper who's even bigger.
That I'd be interested in to see.
All I'll say is, follow the bees.
Why is it
That's
never
it.
ever follow the spiders?
Why is all the spiders?
Is that what you were referencing there?
Yes.
Oh, right.
I got it.
I wondered.
So what are you doing? You following the bees?
I think we are following.
I'm staying hidden for now.
You've got no idea where he's
I've
gone.
got no idea what's going on.
I'm
I've
convinced
gone-
someone is
Sorry.
going to get killed by these things.
We're following the bees. If anyone wants to come with,
I want to see a giant beekeeper
safely.
I will come
at a
in
safe
order
distance,
to- in
not
order
too close.
to,
Try not disturb
cure the
them.
wounds that will inevitably be incurred.
Alright. So you start following the bees. You notice that they are flying pretty much parallel to the river as it's sort of flowing. You follow them for a little while. Takes about half a day
Oh God!
of just following bees. The hive is not...
As we're walking, I've got a really important question.
Yes.
Would you all rather fight 100 giant bees, like we just saw, or 1,000 smaller regular bees?
What environment?
This one.
Larger bees.
100 giant bees. I feel I'd do more damage to one giant bee than
Really?
many other bees.
Okay.
Smaller bees will
Just so you know, you're both wrong.
Oh.
The only answer is 1,000 tiny bees.
But
I've done the math.
But that's 1,000 stingers versus 100 stingers.
Yes.
Winston says, yes, but the stingers are much bigger.
But you've got more of a chance to dodge out the way with one. If you one-on-one with a giant bee,
How big's the giant bee?
well, like
The bees that we've seen.
Hold on, is it all of us versus
No, just you.
just me versus 10 giant bees?
No. 100 giant
A
bees.
100.
Is it
Oh,
100 all at once,
Or
or are they coming
1,000
waves?
smaller.
And if I was
All
to
at
get to
once.
it,
Oh,
I
if it was
would go-
just me and there was 100, for some reason 10 came into my head. 100,000
Thinking about
small
rapes
bees.
again.
1,000 small bees. I
think
personally couldn't just take on.
I think I'd have to go for the 1,000 ones, but that's because my only real way of fighting them would be to try and set them on fire.
That's
That's,
a fair.
Change the environment to suit your style of play.
I've just got a hammer.
Yes, raise its temperature by a lot.
Is that how
And
we
very
should
quickly.
defeat these? Are
Well, I
we?
believe
Are we
you
basically?
smoke them.
Are we
in
coming
order
up with a
to-
game plan in case these
Never
things
s-
turn south?
Never tried
No,
to
I was
smoke
just
a bee.
curious
Oh,
how
okay.
everyone else's minds
Rob,
I could
worked.
try and find a
1,000.
stick that might give off some smoke, or we might have some torches or something.
We do. Yeah, we've got torches.
We could try and
1,000.
smoke
small
giant
bees.
bees. Who knows? We're getting into some.
Imagine the size of the Rizzler papers for that.
We're getting into some.
It would look like a massive doobie.
We're getting into some point and click adventure game logic here.
Yeah. Alright, so you keep following the
Thank
bees.
you. Nothing wrong with a doobie.
As you...
So, just to clarify, you said they were following the river, the bees.
They were going parallel to the river.
The way that we were walking.
Not following the river, but they are sort of, a couple of 100 feet away from
So,
it.
do they kind of catch up with me as I went off along the river, or have I got no idea where they?
But you've got no idea where they've gone. You've just sort of
Okay.
disappeared off.
After a bit, and as I presumably I could sort of hear the buzzing moving round.
You can kind of, see the buzzing.
So I will.
Oh, did we just leave Azaria behind?
Yeah.
I will head.
Zario ran away.
Oh!
I can't see above the grass, so I just presumed everyone was
I will
following.
head back and try to find out what became of my
Oh.
party members.
Make a survival check to see if you can
Oh.
track them.
Someone goes, we're all here, right?
12.
12.
Oh,
It's fairly easy to keep track of where they've gone in this long grass because it's just a swath has been
What,
cut away from it.
What race is Azaria?
Half off.
Oh, so not even like you're a halfling, so we can lose you in the grass. We have genuinely just left you behind.
Well, you all tried to hide, and I knew I was crap at hiding, so I tried to leg it for
Okay.
somewhere safe.
You are following, but sorry, about 10 minutes or so behind.
Okay.
As you're getting close to sort of the half day's worth of walking, you see a looming shape that is coming out of the sea.
The beekeeper.
Much like a mountain protruding. You can smell the sea air getting closer, but there is a sweetness on the wind.
I've got a radio.
And as you sort of spend another hour or so just following these bees, they've got a long commute of these bees.
Well, they're bigger, so it probably doesn't take them as long.
Yeah, that's true. You can see you're getting to the edge of the cliff, effectively. You're coming out towards the edge of the ocean. And the bees are going over and then flying down the cliff.
I thought they'd gone down into the ocean.
Dive,
Deep sea bees.
dive.
The mission's complete. They've just.
But as you're
They play a loud klaxon as they dive.
watching the bees go off the edge, you sort of turn slightly to the right, a bit more south. There is a city built upon a sea stack that is stood within a bay.
I told you this would be a good idea.
A sea of bees.
This city has been constructed in almost concentric rings, getting higher as it goes up, protruding maybe 200 feet or so above ground level, 300 above sea level. So you're about 100 feet off the ground on the edge of this cliff. The city itself is completely isolated from the land. The stack is completely separate, and you can see where the river appears to have this basin. It seems to be tidal, and that is its source of the river. So there are a set of lock gates that you can see sort of on the precipice where the river is flowing into. It's eventually curved around and joined up to where you are. But as the tide comes in, it fills up a basin. Lock gates close, and then there is water just contained within it. And you can't understand how it sort of goes from there, but then a series of lock gates do push it further along, as you've seen before, as it goes uphill.
I'm very confused, but okay.
Water's moving uphill.
From where?
Sea.
Right. For some reason, I thought you said the water was coming from the city. And I was
No, sorry. It's coming-
What?
It's coming from the sea,
coming
going
from the-
into
as
a
the-
thing, and it's flowing up.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's basically there is a cove, effectively, and there is
Yeah.
a singular stack on it. Hey, Dreyfar Grey, welcome along to the chat.
Sup?
Hey.
So yeah, there is this massive city that is built there and is completely surrounded by water. You can see where the tide marks come up to, which is maybe 50 feet or so. So the tide difference is 50 feet, where the river then flows in and it just fills in the lock.
But the river's nowhere near this city.
There's a good 200 feet or so between the edge of the city and the.
So relative, it is quite close, but it's not like inside or bumping up against.
The river has no connection to the city. You're just describing the terrain, that this is where the river's coming from.
Yes.
They're a separate entity.
Yes.
Okay.
Just so happens that it is being put around there.
So water's being pulled from the ocean and being brought essentially up the cliff somehow into the river that we've just followed.
Yes.
Okay. And this.
As it's effectively tidal. So the tide comes in, it fills a basin.
Yep.
Lock gates close behind it.
Yep.
And then the water is pushed. As the tide goes out, the water is pushed up and forms into the river.
And separate to this, we found a sea stack with a
City.
giant city.
It's a pretty large city. In Avatar, the Last Airbender, the city of Amashu, that sort of.
Yeah, the
structure.
cone
Yeah.
sort of shape. Yeah. That's what I was
Anyone
thinking.
missing with the table? Anyone?
You never
No.
watched The Last Airbender? Oh, you need to.
It's great.
It's brilliant.
In answer to your question, Dreyfar
Lovely.
Grey, influence the game. No, you can influence it with channel points. If you watch long enough, you can get some channel points to possibly change some NPCs and stuff that are going on. I also do not know what a bizarre trader is, so
Pokemon card.
I have no idea.
probably.
Sure, we'll go with Pokemon cards.
Sure.
Should have gone MTG.
But yeah.
Probably as well.
As you're also taking in the city, you can sort of see that there is effectively a waxy structure that is protruding from the caves.
Sorry, I just choked on air.
I hate it when it sneaks up on you.
It really does.
But it seems
But,
that
yeah.
this is where the bees are flying into. This seems to be their.
Does it look like bee wax?
It does look like beeswax, yes. It has been constructed around there, and it looks like it's just been used to shelter off, and possibly they are flying into caves and such. I'll come to you in a second.
I know, I'm just holding my hand up so you don't forget me.
Okay. Who are you? But possibly you can see that there are pot
I
marks and
just don't want
such.
you to forget me either.
Okay. Hello, Ross.
Likewise. You can forget me if you like.
Feel free.
Fair enough. But yeah, you can see that there are various pot marks and stuff that are through here, so it's possible that there are tunnels that sort of interlock into here that the bees have made into their hive. Yes.
Sorry, the wax is on the cliff or on the city?
On the cliff.
On the cliff that we are
Very
standing
clear.
on.
Don't worry.
The cliff that you're on,
It's
yes.
very clear.
It's not though.
There's
we're
a
choking
city
on
with a
air.
river and a sea,
Yeah.
and there's a cavern with some wax.
I'm definitely
And
looking at the sea
something
right
does
now.
And the sea pushes water up the hill.
Yeah,
I
totally.
think to the cavern.
Which is on a cliff, which has
Yes.
got caverns in it
Yes.
where there's beeswax.
And
so the
probably
bees
bees
are
living
going
inside.
into the cliff that we
Yes.
are currently standing on.
Yes.
Top of.
See, what part of that was complicated?
I don't know, I just...
Don't forget the city though,
And the city,
And the
on top of the
lock
sea
gates.
and the
sky,
lock gates.
which looks like a
Because
triangle.
the lock gates make it all work.
Yes.
What you can see is that from this point of the city, you can see that there is at the very peak of it, is a temple. And you can tell that it's a temple. You can tell that it's a temple because of the statues of the gods that you can see.
Gods we recognise.
They are the gods you recognise,
Ooh.
or at least there are. You can see from here. You can see 3 of them. You can see Phos, the father. This is why I try and remember my own gods' names.
This is why
We're
when
getting
I
there.
make a
We're getting
campaign...
there.
Is the way you recognise.
One god.
You recognise Phos, Hector, and Elipida,
What can be like that?
or Elipedia.
No god.
I think I wrote them all down somewhere now. I need to try to find them.
They
But
are
yes.
So
Yes.
that's the father and 2 of the children.
Yes.
Interesting.
The city.
You would. What's interesting to note is that you can see that there are other statues around there, but you can see that there are only 6 of them.
Right.
And you know that this is probably because if this is pre this generation, there were only 6 gods. Videm was the last survivor of the previous race. So Hector, Physis, Elipedia, and Skia, the mother.
Can I see, like... Is there, like, a bridge?
Caught up with you at last. Wow.
Hey, where have you
Amazing.
been?
Polites, that's the other
What do
god.
you mean? I thought you were with us already.
No, I didn't think I could hide from the bees. I'm not good at hiding, so I tried to get to a safe distance. I'm glad you're all okay.
Yeah,
Glad you're
we're
okay
glad,
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're glad you found us. We found where the bees are going under this cliff,
And the city.
and
Wow.
yeah, I
And
can't-
there's a river
and
with
the river that
lock
goes
gates.
uphill.
Yeah,
Lots of
and-
lots.
And wax and this
Thanks, yeah.
And a temple.
and the
A
temple on
There's
top.
statues
With
over there.
only 6 though.
Only 6. Can I see, is there like a bridge that
Didn't
links the
bite.
cliff from the city, or any way that we can get across?
No. There are no bridges connecting the city.
Is there a point of the cliff that is closer to the city?
There's a few points that are closer, but
Are they far away?
there's around.
Over on the city,
Hmm.
the city's in the middle of water. Is
Yes,
that right?
it is on top of a vast
Are
sea
there,
stack.
is there anywhere obvious for sort of landing from the water? Anything like
There is what looks to be the remnants of possibly some sort of dock down at the bottom. It's a little tricky. It looks like it's possibly just a point. There are a series of rings that are there for people to anchor their ships to, and then you presume they probably pulleyed stuff up because the water level never comes up to the flat of the city or to the base of the city walls. It only comes up about halfway. So they probably have a way of transporting goods, or they had a way of transporting goods from the ship up.
So even if we crossed over in the water, we would still
To
be
scale.
a long way below
Yes.
the city itself.
Maybe they have some like steps chiseled into them.
Is there a bridge?
We asked that.
Is there a lift?
Paragliding.
Big zip
We've
line.
got a flying animal.
We do.
I mean, Yes, I'm talking about you.
And we've got people who can walk up walls, so if we could get across, you could go up and take her over.
Well, Klaus could fly across on Dash, and then he could drop a rope, and then we could climb up it. If we even want to go over there, do the bees look like they're in the cliff? They're not the ones going into the city. Like, just scoping out to make sure that the bees aren't. They're still, like, carrying on with their day.
Bees just carry on.
Okay.
Bees are just being.
I don't think the bees... What do we want to do? Bees, city. Bees, city.
I'm more interested in the city, but
I'd agree.
City. I'm more interested in the city, but I know
I don't mind having a look at the
someone
bees.
really wants honey.
I'm sure we'll find some.
True.
Where's Lander when you need him?
Always in our hearts.
We can get some on the way back.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll end up in trouble.
Is there any way to safely get... Is there a beach down the bottom, or is it just like dockside?
It is water in
with
there.
docks. Docks at the bottom of the
It
stack
looks
or
like
the
it's
cliff?
at the bottom of the. It's at the bottom of the stack. It looks like there's a series of metal rings that are basically anchor points for different points of the tide.
Okay, so nothing in this cliff that we're standing on that could get us down to the water.
I mean, you could climb. It's 100 feet. You have rope.
Oh, it's only 100 feet. I'm imagining it's like half a mile. That's a lot. 100 feet. Okay.
Half a mile is a lot. 100 feet, not so much.
Yeah, I didn't realise.
Well,
When you say cliff, I do imagine like a sheer like.
I mean, it is a sheer cliff. It's just not a long cliff.
It's not a
Like
sheer drop.
like the cliffs of Dover aren't that relatively. They aren't that high, but they are a sheer cliff.
More than 100 feet, surely.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
Depends where you still.
To be fair, I've never been to there, so I can't really judge. Anyway. Right, so how are we going to get across? Anybody got any ideas other than the flying feathered creature?
I mean, I know we've been seeing other plants that aren't wood, but could we make something that floats out of the plants?
Turn one of the flowers into a boat. Float in the boat. Flower boat. Just going to keep saying flower words and boat.
Petal boat.
Petal boat, leaf boat, boat, float.
Petal.
Well done.
You're on a roll.
Well done.
Just full of shit today.
I can probably get us down safely. But once we're in the water, then we're just in the water, so you know.
We're just in the
Oh,
water.
I can get us a boat.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Adam. Apparently, the cliffs of Dover are 350 feet high.
Oh, well, there you go.
How high is
110
this?
metres.
100.
So,
Thanks,
So
Adam.
it's basically nothing.
thank you
Frick,
for
it's
not
an
making
over.
me feel like an idiot.
No, at the end of it is, but you idiot.
Yeah.
I'd like to look at them, so yeah, I am an idiot.
Dumbass. So
I mean, the
we.
boat you made before was a bit small for all of us, I think.
Oh,
That
I'm
was a
sorry.
raft for
You wanna make your own
yourself.
boat?
No, I'm just worried that we can,
Okay,
whether
then
we will
we'll
fit
deal
on
with what
it.
we've got.
Oh.
Nothing wrong with multiple trips.
We see the holes that the bees were flying into?
Yeah, you sort of watch long enough and you go round a bit, you can see the bees sort of.
Are there gaps that are close to the sea?
How do you mean close to the sea?
As in, we could go in one hole at the top of the cliff and come out one hole at the bottom of the cliff near the ocean.
Maybe, you don't know how they're interconnected, but you could do.
I assume that they're one giant tunnel. Not one, many tunnels. One cliff.
Is it technically one tunnel if they all link together?
Does a straw have two holes or one?
One.
Does it though?
Yeah. Yeah. Does.
Does it?
Does. I'm sorry to be that person, but
Does it?
yes, it's got one. Yeah.
Hey, Phantom Meeple,
But it
cast
has
magic
two
missile into the
heads.
darkness.
One
How's aiming?
continuous.
Hope it works.
Exactly. So
That's exactly how it works. Hey, Phantom Meeple.
is So so we could maybe go for a walk through these
That might
tunnels.
work. I mean, I can just get us down the cliff.
If we want to go for a swim, unless you land your boat there. Your small boat.
In fact, maybe we can use it like a flying boat and then just land safely.
I could
that sounds good if it's work. It's going to work.
make some sort of wind capturing
Yes.
device.
I feel like I call it a shoot para.
Yes.
Shoot power.
A power drop.
A para drop.
Call it large
Mm.
boilers.
Maybe we could take one of these giant flowers and use it as a parachute down.
Oh what?
What?
A shoot para.
Shoot power, that's it.
A para drop.
Oh, see
One or
me.
two. We're workshopping.
We're
We're
working
workshopping.
You use it. I'm not smart.
The stopping from flopping.
Well, I can do that. I can do that. Just to be clear, I could probably only do that for a few of us. Specifically 5.
Can most of us swim? Can we swim?
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe.
I don't know if I've ever tried
Think-
really
I only
in the sea.
And
Winston says, I can fly, so I don't really have a issue here.
and Elijah and Klaus could just walk down the cliff.
could those that fly maybe see if they can find something like a bridge or like a rope bridge or something
Let's
that
do a
is
bridge.
over there that could just bring us across?
You can find a bridge
how
or a
far,
rope bridge.
How
or-
far is the
brick
cliff
tower
from
bridge.
the? Oh, it goes down, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry?
The city is below. Is like
No, the city is
Below
in
the
line.
cliff.
online.
Or in line with
The
the
city's
cliff.
in line with the cliff.
Oh, so they could maybe once upon a time been a bridge?
Mission
Yes.
Impossible it.
Sorry,
What?
time to build a new one.
Adventure in improbable.
We could Mission Impossible it.
From a bit of looking around, sort of studying this after a while, that you can tell there's a remnants of there was once upon a time there was a bridge.
Time to rebuild it.
Right, that's kind of what.
Like there's obviously a section of wall that
montage.
opens.
Gonna be a montage. Montage.
I need to remember I've taken the guidance cantrip.
Oh what?
I need to remember I've taken the guidance cantrip. That's going to be my thing now. I'm going to have to remember I can do that.
Bridge, please. How far away is the remnants of the bridge?
I mean, from where you are, maybe about 50, 100 feet or so.
I
you
will
sort of-
go over to the remnants of the bridge.
Okay. It is not much more than sort of 2 broken, crumbled, like stone pillars, effectively, that were used as anchor points at once upon a time.
Do they
But you
still
can
look
see-
sturdy?
You're not a mason, so you don't know.
No, I am an architect.
I suppose actually that's a fair point. Make an investigation check.
Could be. Might not be.
Mhm. Number?
Investigation.
Yes.
4.
You
Uh-huh.
You signed your own fate by picking up one of them dice.
Yeah.
They are
I'd say.
stones. But you can see from here that there is a sort of at the
They're
far
magnetic.
side.
Sorry, just really quickly. You said they're made out of stone.
Yes.
Stone.
I'm
How
a
cunning.
dwarf. I would like to make an intelligence history check related to the origin of the stonework.
Okay.
It's like the first time you've done it this game.
I think ever. Anyone's ever done this.
That is the only thing in D&D 1 that they are making better. Is stone cutting is now actually mechanically useful.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
In
good.
what way?
It gives you tremor sense.
Oh, that is cool.
really good.
That's cool.
You can do it like once a day.
Yeah, I'll play
Because
this
I'm
right now.
What,
I
you
can
can just
see without
feel-
seeing.
So you just feel the earth around you, and you can just feel if something's moving.
Yeah, you just toff.
The
You just
stone-
toff
the
it.
stone was with him.
toff it.
Okay.
And you get to make it with advantage of it, or do you get expertise?
I am proficient with it. I add double my proficiency.
Okay, so you have expertise.
So no, sorry.
Oh yeah, thanks Nightbot for reminding us about game teas. I forgot
Wow,
to
it
mention it at the top of the
actually
show.
is right this time.
Hey.
That is a number. That is 22.
22. Okay, is that including your
That is
intelligence?
Yes, I made a history check and added my proficiency twice.
Okay, that was a 13. I thought it was an 18.
Yes, 13. Yes.
Okay. These stones are of the same origin And that
As the city.
as probably what looks to be similar to as the city. Looks like they're all the same stone. And date maybe 4,000 years or so.
These are about 4,000 years old.
Wait,
And why do we care?
Just thought it'd be interesting.
that's
Well, I mean, if they stood here for 4,000 years, they probably will stand here for a little bit longer with a bit of rope or something on it.
Make a strength check.
Please be good.
what against Graham?
No!
4,000. Had enough of your shit. 10.
Same.
I hate fun facts!
You dare to tip me again. The first and the last time you used stone cunning in my presence, dwarf.
Just Sparta kick. Just done with this.
I mean, it's not the first time you've tried to like kill a party member.
It was Ross as well.
Yeah, it was me, yeah.
You push against the stone. Doesn't budge.
I learned that through doing that.
Well, yeah, but I told you that you needed to touch it, and that's...
The other bit of information that you get is that there is,
Also-
aside from the weathering that is on here, there's obviously been, from the sea and various and waves and sea air and such that we've just sort of gone over time. There is you can tell that it was also damaged physically. So like they actually broke it at some point. So it looks like the bridge was destroyed by the inhabitants of the city.
Okay. Can I tell by what tool?
Probably hammer.
Okay.
A blunt instrument of some description.
Not snail file.
1962 East Wing hammer.
Crafted by this guy. No. It was at some...
Workshop timbers.
Yeah.
So just lapsed.
Yeah, I know the accent. Yeah, you know that it was broken by stone masons. Or something.
Interesting thing. It looks like they broke the bridge, which then raises the question of: do we want to go to the city where the occupants left and then broke the access to?
Probably
Or did a brave
worth a
person
key distinction.
break it?
The damage is about 1,000 years old, so it's about the time that the big calamity happened.
Okay.
So it looks like it was around that
Okay.
sort of
So they
era.
could have been doing it to protect the
Yeah,
city.
they
could
might
have
have
been.
tried to be
Sent one
isolating
brave
themselves.
person out
Yes.
to break the bridge.
Or they might have been someone who was able to fly, because apparently that's
I think that would make
Or
more
just
sense.
swim and they get down a boat to haul them up.
Maybe they were fish people.
there are fish people.
You have met a sea elf.
We did.
I don't remember seeing that.
Sea elf.
Oh.
It was that guy that
it was a
pretty
himbo.
much he was
The himbo.
the himbo.
I don't remember
If I could, I would.
meeting anyone.
seeing an elf.
This was as part of the
Sea elf.
group that came up. I think you weren't. I think you weren't here for that session.
This is the thing.
It's a sea elf.
Apart from
and
the
so
people
I don't remember
present,
seeing
my
an elf.
character has not met.
That's why.
Your character met those. Your character met those individuals. You have not met those people. Yes. But if you want to find out who those people are, you can check out our YouTube page where all of our previous episodes live.
Shameless plug.
Yes.
Always. Any plug's a plug.
Oh, well then.
But you can tell that there was a bridge on the far side. Because you can see where there were doors, effectively,
Okay.
on the other side, but they have been since sealed.
How far away is the door from where we are?
About 250 feet.
How much rope do we all have?
50 feet each.
50 feet.
Yeah, I think we're 50 feet.
Most people have 50 feet.
So presumably between all of us, 350
30 feet. Oh, 50. No, 50. My eyes didn't work.
We
Which
could
is sad.
just, I don't know.
Dash could just ferry us across.
Also, that just might be the very, so long as Desh is okay doing that.
To take a rope.
Or
and
ask
then
Winston to
cross.
take a rope.
I'm not trying flying dash. I'm not sure I want to try it over a big drop for the first time.
Desh is just standing behind me, sorry.
I'm
Okay.
also quite interested to see is there's a temple at the top there. So
Yes.
if it's a temple, would the water down here all be holy?
Only one way to find out. Wait, no, I'm joking.
Fine. Okay.
One thing that's probably worth pointing out is you have come around here, and this section is close to the river, where the bridge is. You can see where the water is filling up as the tide is coming in at this point. The base of it is carved, with stones to just see that out, and every 10 feet or so, both going vertically and horizontally, are a singular rune. It's the same rune that's sort of been carved along this, that is sort of pulsing with a soft blue glow. And a few of them the light has flickered out. They're still visible, but it's gone out. It's like looking at pool lights that have just
On what,
flickered out.
sorry?
In the river,
Yeah.
where the water is, the seawater is filling in behind the lock gates and it's filling a basin.
Mm.
It's basically carved on the inside of the channel, effectively.
In the basins.
Yes, in the basin.
Like when you go on holiday and there's a mosaic of a dolphin at the bottom of the pool.
Effectively, yes.
Okay.
Funnily enough, that's exactly what they look like.
Yeah.
Do the runes mean anything to any of us?
You're probably the most likely.
Dwarvish.
No, they're not. They're not a language.
Oh.
Make an Arcana check.
Sure.
Oh, magic, yeah.
So numbers that is a 23.
23. Okay. From studying this looks like it is the spacing and the consistency, and I believe this is a spell that you can cast. It is a purification of some description. It's purification of water, effectively.
Yes.
I think it is a spell artificer can cast.
Yes, I can purify food and water. Yes.
So it seems that these runes are casting purified water, and that is why the water is fresh water in there, but it is still
I was
slightly
going to
salinated.
ask that question earlier, and I just thought, I'm asking about bees instead.
Yeah.
But but whether you were salty or not, basically, when you came out of the water. So.
Yeah. So you can deduce that is probably why the water is fresh water, but there's still a little bit of salt in there because some of the magic has run out,
Gotcha.
and there's still some salt water getting through.
In which case, can we see where the water from these locks joins the river?
It's here. This is the source of the river.
Yeah, but okay. Can we go down via the locks?
You could climb down the lock gate if you want to.
How many are there? I'm guessing. To me, I'm just seeing like
So,
there's a few
so-
locks going up.
So the locks are going further along the river where you've come from. They're going further north. So this point is the lowest point of the river, where the sea meets it.
Yeah.
So when the seawater comes in, the tide comes in, it fills the basin.
Yeah.
Lock gates close behind it, and that's what keeps the water in.
Yeah.
So how close are we to that lock gate right this second?
You're within a couple of minutes walk.
So you were saying to me that within a couple of minutes we could be by the seaside?
Yes.
What?
So we've just spent the last 20
No, sorry.
minutes-
To clarify, that is where the bottom of the river is. So the lock gate is effectively at the top of the cliff.
Yes.
The water rises up to fill part of this basin because it's tidal.
So the gate's almost as tall as the cliff.
Pretty much, yes.
Right.
You physically drown yourselves.
The gate's really tall.
It's a massive gate.
Yeah, big gate in the cliff, basically.
Okay, but how does it fill up?
Tide. The tide comes in.
Magic.
The gates are open slightly.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Jesus!
Jesus!
Yeah, a wizard,
Use of
a wizard
Jews.
probably did it a long time ago.
Cheese floats.
Right, because I was thinking like there was like
Cheese does
a
float down.
bowl at
Yes.
the bottom and multiple interconnecting little locks that it was flowing up the cliff.
I see. That's probably on me then.
No, but I understand now. One big gate, water fills up. So
There are effectively more locks that do fill up because this water doesn't come right up to your level because the cliff only fills up 50 feet.
Okay.
So it does step up effectively.
So we
No,
could
no
climb.
easier way down to the seaside, basically.
We can't like just hop in.
we've got 4 options, which is rope across, fly across, swim across, or boat across and then climb.
Or none of the above.
Or none of the above.
But there's a big city there. We can't just go off in the.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to leave until that we go and see the city.
So that crosses that one off.
I will go and see.
Curiosity is going to kill the cat.
You can go and find some honey.
There's a cat.
There's always a cat.
Oh, good.
You can stay here with the bees. Find some honey.
Oh no, I'm gonna watch
We could,
Okay.
whatever this is.
Oh, that's fine.
we could secure the rope and climb.
Yeah, that seems pretty practical because you can fly dash.
Yes.
We could tie one end of the rope onto the pillars. You could fly the other end across, and we could climb it. It'd be tough, but we could do it.
We could. You could.
I hand you 50 feet of rope.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Who's good at tying knots?
Not me.
What
I'm
would
not
be
the best.
required?
Dexterity.
Not bad.
Need
Mine
those
is
delicate
pretty
fingers.
much reduced to beam frames.
I've workers' fingers.
Kind of carpenter wood.
Isn't nobody got dexterity in this group?
Yes.
I have.
Do?
Yeah, the
What's-
archer.
What's yeah?
I have sleight of hand, but it's not very high.
What's the
Sleight of hand
range-
is
what's the
probably- is
range
the-
of dex?
Archer. He's a
What
fighter.
ranger? There's no rangers in this part.
Oh, sorry, not a ranger.
He's a fighter. He's an archer.
Fighter. It's because
There's a
you're a
range
bow.
People in this party.
Of course, the ranger you did have never used a bow. So
No, that's true. She did not.
Broke my immersion.
I mean, that
Yeah,
two
God.
meta. Anyone beat a 3? Oh, there we go. Okay, so you're this 5. Oh, well, why are you even complaining? Just why are you
I'm not
doing
complaining.
this?
We were saying, oh, who's good at tying knots? And I said, well, I can. And then everyone was like, oh, well, I can do it.
You should have just rolled. Ignore us batting between each other. If you know you've got better, just roll for it.
Yeah, but
God.
I also know that that's not how he does
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
Who?
I handed you the rope for a reason.
Him. The one that's actually kind of leading our game.
The man behind the
You
clouds
could
in
have
the
just
sky.
taken the rope and start
That's some
making
rope
knots.
As well, then.
What is your sleight of hand modifier?
A +5.
Oh! That's true.
Okay. You tie these ropes together.
Uh-huh.
Feel safe. Feel safe.
I would like to check the rope, please.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Hashtag blessed.
I'm going to cast guidance on you.
There you go.
Just as the die left his hand, it is okay. It is safe.
That
A
is...
default.
Yes, 25.
25. This rope looks as safe and stable as if it was woven together into a singular rope.
Okay, nice.
That was
Okay.
a good roll.
Was it good?
Yeah, I rolled a 19.
Yeah, it looks good work. This is really good work.
Okay, so we tie one end onto the pillars, and you take the other end across and tie it on.
Just make sure you do
Ah.
an as good a job over on the other side,
Sure.
or you'll kill Cassian.
What? I'm just standing there in the clip, just like looking over, and I just turn around like, excuse me?
I'd kill and cat, huh?
That's my name.
Okay, you are able. You tie the rope around. Tie the rope around the thing. You tug on it, make sure it's sturdy. It does not seem to croak. And then you take the rest of the rope and you fly across to the far side with a dash. As you land atop the wall. What?
You said croak, and I just imagined a rope made of frogs. Oh, okay.
Oh, you'll laugh on you. Oh, yeah, you give it a good tug.
Oh, yeah, that's also good.
And you find a good anchor point on the other side. Manage to tie it on there as well and give it a tug. And you just stand there and just wait. You guys all see the rope become taut. And it is seemingly ready for you to get across. Who is going across
Cassian,
first?
surely.
I mean, it would be
Does
so-
it seem
Oh,
like
I'd absolutely
the
do
rope
it.
could hold more than one person
Sorry.
at a time?
Keep that over there.
I do a little...
Excellent. Just
It's fairly
A
taut.
note of sea.
You wouldn't want to risk it.
Okay.
Based on the difference in weight in quite a few members of your party.
Who is heavier than your grit?
Grit's probably denser. And also wears heavy
No,
armor.
no way to doubt his intelligence.
I thought it was human.
Hello.
No.
Or are we dead?
Sorry, yeah.
Ah, okay, that's fine.
Beefy,
Um,
maybe.
I'll go first.
Oh.
Okay, so I go first.
So
So
I will touch my vertically and use my whatever divine thingy.
Your Channel Divinity.
Channel divinity, yeah. So I've got advantage on athletics.
Okay, make an athletics check for me.
Okay. Where's
I
my
cast guidance on. Sorry.
Yep.
It's just everyone.
ever retire?
We just line up and before we go, you just pray.
Before I
Ashes falling. Stop. Could have made it easier.
Okay.
This is water.
God protect me. I hope this works.
Good flip.
Ooh. Yes.
Rolling well.
That is a 26 on athletics.
26. Okay.
Nice.
You take your weight and you just hop up, pull yourself up, lock your feet in place, and then it's fairly easy because there's no rope burn, and you've positioned your armor, your greaves, so that you don't have any. It's not snagging or anything. So you've just got smooth rope on metal. You're just sliding your way across until you get to the far side of the anchor point. It is slightly uphill because you are anchored on top of the wall, but you are able to get yourself across easily enough.
Nice work with the boat. It's safe, everybody!
Cool.
A bold claim.
Oh dear. There goes the pencil.
It's Tilly's now.
Who wants to go next?
Tilly, get it.
Anyone?
Fetch.
She is
I'll
asleep.
find it
Oh, I got
later.
it.
You got it?
Yeah, I got my...
Who's going next?
I'll jump on next.
Alright, make an athletics check for me. With guidance.
Thanks. You're athletic as fuck. You don't need guidance.
You got it though.
Athletics.
D4. D4 as well. You might need it.
Oh, yes! Total of?
13.
Okay.
Oh.
You get yourself up, you anchor your feet in place, and you start pulling yourself, and you go, oh god, rope burn on the knees! Rope burn on the knees!
Should have raged.
Yep,
Should have rolled that one.
Rage pulling.
Rage. It's fine.
You do manage to get across, albeit slower, and you do take 2 points of effectively rope burn damage to your calves.
Does it count as fire damage?
Yeah, it would, yeah, because it's just friction.
Does that mean pulses have resistance to it?
Potentially. Resistance to rope burn. Who's going next?
Sure.
Alright.
We'll go. I'll take my suit off and put it in the bag of holding.
Okay.
Suit of armour, that is not my business suit.
Let's take off the tie, follow the dinner jacket. Okay.
Just to give a little bit. I mean, I'm a dwarf. I don't have that much flexibility, but just to
make
provide
an
a little-
athletics check
with
guidance.
Oh, that's a bit of my-
D4.
Yeah, that's Arthur broke it. That is a 20.
20. Okay. You managed to.
Tip of the throat.
You have to get someone to lift you up slightly just to get onto the rope, but you have to
my
hang
body.
place.
Just me.
Roasting!
And then you power yourself across, easy enough, to the other side. Happy.
Use spider climb.
Okay. Just hang on to the rope, easy enough.
No, you're going to tightrope walk.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good lad. Every now and then just like a little.
Boing, boing.
For the fun of it, make a dexterity saving throw.
Absolutely. Hashtag blessed. That's 4.
Nope.
Dex.
You were not blessed.
No, I was just saying.
Yeah.
Just like, that's his hashtag.
What was it? Sorry.
Dex save.
8th.
Okay. You have a couple of moments where you're sort of like confident, or a gust of wind comes in and takes your foot away, and and you just go straight full
Upside down.
180. You just if you can breathe.
I'm standing watching this, just like.
At various points, Winston does fly out and just come to just stabilize you, and just like
Let him fall!
It's fine. I could fall off if I wanted to.
you walk your way across semi-confidently, and finally,
Yeah. Oh, this is not going to go well.
Oh no.
Guidance.
Can you guide yourself?
Yeah.
the only thing you can't do is use inspiration on yourself.
Until you get to
I
like
will
level
inspire.
4.
Until you get to level 4. You're inspiring from... I don't think you can. You're too far away.
This is not 30 feet? Oh, yeah.
Well, the other side of
I'll wait until you get within range.
the last 30 seconds.
Well, that's alright.
Oh, you're good.
That's not bad. So yeah, unnatural 20.
Nice.
Oh, okay then.
I'm going to say my tail.
So
helps.
no
Yeah, you get
translation.
yourself on that, and then your tail just grabs onto it, just hold in place, and you just pull yourself across.
So the most
Business.
athletic one of us did the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Classic
But-
me.
The group of you are now upon this city, the city walls. The first thing you notice standing upon this is that this city looks pristine. There is no sign of weathering, there is no sign of damage or struggle. The only thing that appears to be out of sorts, aside from the fact that there's no one here, there are no people, there's a couple of like seabirds that are just sort of floating around. There are a couple of overgrown like garden boxes that are out on the front of various houses that just seem to have managed to sustain themselves with sunlight and rain.
Yeah, that sounds like
Yeah.
Giant sunflowers.
Hello.
So this city by the sea isn't covered in seabird poop.
I was going to ask the same thing.
No, instantly.
Was there seabird poop on the cliffs?
No, there wasn't.
Did we see
Well,
any seabirds?
not that you have seen seabirds, but you haven't seen. I mean, you have seen a bit of seabird poop
Sea bees.
out in the grasses,
Maybe the bees keep the birds away.
They do.
but there doesn't seem to be any like major collective of guano or anything like that. There's maybe
Bees have been using it as fertilizer.
Yeah.
there's maybe the
Clicks of
odd.
guano, I saw the ones
They're worker
that I
bees.
use.
So that's what makes the flowers grow so big.
You are able to see like the odd spatter if you pay really close attention to it, but it's nothing like you would expect. Because I mean, after a while, it would just wash away, and it does seem that this city does have quite decent drainage. In the inside of the walls, you can see that there are like guttering, and because the city is sort of built in concentric circles, there are like rivulets that run that rainwater and any other water, I suppose, can just wash down. So presumably, this has kept it quite clean.
But it looks like destroying the bridge worked. This place doesn't look to have been damaged at all.
Hmm.
Oh, this is great. There's going to be so much to explore.
Does the workings of the building like pay homage to any sort of old architecture that I would have seen?
It's a
Or is it
completely
just truly
unique.
unique?
It's a completely unique style to the one that you have seen before.
One of those pyramids that no one can identify, and like, no, it's Aztec. Like, oh no, it's Egyptian. No, it's actually all three.
Yeah, it's a very odd style. It doesn't seem like it's
geometry.
it's not something you're used to seeing sort of like what would be termed from your side like dwarven and elvish
Yeah.
style and sort of human style. This seems to have been constructed in such a way as to best utilize the
Someone with a
overall
lot of
construction
money
of
and
the
great
stack.
imagination.
Yeah, they used to maximize space on this quite cramped area. So what you can sort of roughly tell as you're sort of walking through this, sort of like looking down this area, this lowest ring, and you can see that it sort of goes up maybe 10 levels or so. This lowest level, at the very least, is residential. Or at least looks to be residential, as opposed to... There's nothing obvious denoting it as being industrial in any way, or leisure. It just appears to be this is just where people live.
Is there a wall around?
There is a wall
it?
around the
A
outside.
big door. How tall is the wall?
Wall is about 50 feet or so.
Okay.
You are stood atop the wall.
On top of the wall.
You are stood atop the wall. That's where Desh landed.
Oh, okay. So it's 50
And there are-
feet down to the other side of the walls
Yes.
now.
And about 150 feet down into the sea.
Yeah, no thank you. We're going to go into the city.
Are there any stairs down anywhere?
Yes,
from
there
the
are.
wall?
Yes, there are. There are stairs carved in on the inside of the wall.
That's no fun.
And they're not slippery with the bird guano.
Not slippery with Bergwana, but they are a little bit sea misty.
Okay. So,
Oh, I put my armour back on.
Okay.
Just this.
we were definitely getting into a fight, and Luke 100% was like, "You never said you put your
never
armor
put
back
your armor
on."
back on.
So
We've learned.
Would I do that for you?
See.
I cast mage armor.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's something you would do, but okay, sure. I'm messing with you. It's fine.
I think maybe we should have a look in one of these residential-looking places, because if there's stuff left behind, then maybe people stayed here and something happened to them. But if there's no stuff here, maybe they evacuated and demolished the bridge behind them to try and keep the city safe.
Doesn't hurt to work our way inwards. Might as well start
Yeah,
here.
I will pick a house at random and try and go in.
All right, we open the door. The door action is actually quite smooth. Seems odd. You feel like there'd be some rust in here or something, but you open it up and look around inside. There is a stairway, but it's leading down into the stack. It seems that in lieu of having an upstairs, they have a downstairs. They just build down into this place to sort of maximizing the efficiency of the space. The upper floor appears to be a living reception area with a kitchen that seems to be fully equipped in terms of like general utensils, like sort of commoners, cook pot, and all that sort of thing. There are books. There's a table. There's some chairs.
I just want to.
Are the books in a stable condition?
You go and pick one of them up, and you sort of have a flip through it. It does seem that the outside cover of itself is relatively okay. The pages inside have disintegrated, so it's just the hard shell of a book.
I'd like to obsess over the door a little bit.
Okay.
It was really
smooth. Yeah.
Can I just check the
Inside
hinges?
check the door.
No, I want to see whether it's been maintained recently. Like someone's literally still going around like oiling all of these doors and maintaining it.
Okay.
Just to...
Make an investigation checks.
To make sure no squeaky doors survive.
Is it a wooden door?
No, they are stone doors, but like a thin stone door, like enough to keep stuff out, but they sort of slide.
15.
15? Yes. There is clear evidence that the metal on the hinges has been maintained recently. In as much as there are sort of relative nicks and scratches in there, and sort of like general polishing marks that you would have seen, that is recent.
We should probably be careful because this door's been recently maintained. And when I say recently, I mean recently, not in the last 1,000 years.
Didn't you tell me about fighting some kind of metal thing?
Oh yeah, the snake that then turned into a metal man. Yeah, don't trust any metal
He
snakes.
didn't try to polish us.
No, try to stab me.
But it sounded like it was some kind of guardian or maintainer.
Yeah.
We didn't see it doing any maintenance.
I'm not
Didn't you only
maintenance.
see it attacking you?
Oh yeah.
If someone's maintaining something, it's also possible that they're guarding something, guarding the doors from squeakiness, but still guarding something. So
Or keeping it safe for when people come back. And
very
people.
true.
Maybe.
But we can assume we are not alone.
We'll
Yes.
keep our eyes open.
Maybe move a bit stealthier.
Yeah.
Can try. I'm not good at that. I will try to sneak downstairs to look at the downstairs bits.
Make a stealth check. Bet you're wishing you didn't put your armor back on, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah,
I'd rather
well,
my
that's
armour
a
on to
stab.
be honest. Even with the.
That's a 9 on stealth.
9, okay.
Can I get a clonk?
Downstairs, it is surprisingly bare, actually, down here. There is.
It's a show home.
It seems like there are evidence of like splinters of wood. Like there's been broken furniture down here at some point, but it has been taken and removed. There doesn't appear to be signs of conflict or anything like that, or anything breaking of it. Just that there was probably some sort of structure, like a bed or chair or something like that, and then the wood has been taken away and dismantled. But it doesn't look as if someone has just come in and smashed things with hammers.
Repurpose.
Upcycled.
Maybe.
Someone's
If
got
some-
a lovely new
if something-
pallet deck.
If something is maintaining the place, then maybe they take things that are less important and break them down to repair things that are more important.
The book that someone looked at, was there writing on the cover?
Yes, there was.
Was it writing?
What languages you read?
I try and remind myself.
Common, Elvish, and Gnomish for me.
Common Elvish Gnomish.
Also, Dwarvish, Infernal, and Celestial.
Okay.
That kind of got all mine.
Yep.
So that's covered mine as well.
Okay. It is not a language that you recognise.
Winsome.
Dash. Dash read.
Can Winsome read?
I'm just double checking. Yes, I don't remember all of Winston's language off the top of my head. It is not Draconic, but it is.
Doesn't Draconic use Dwarvish runes anyway? You know, it might.
I don't read runes.
Yeah, no self. Level up Winsome.
Read the room.
Funnily enough, when he leveled up, I think he taught the linguistics.
Yes.
read.
All the languages, yeah.
Actually, a warlock and can read all languages.
Read all languages. He can read this. It is primordial.
God, I'm a second that other language no one ever takes.
He says, this appears to be a book of fairy tales. Or at least was.
Sorry, what language is it?
Primordial.
And that one is actually written in Dwarvish. Not Draconic.
Well, according to that, different
According to this,
different
yes.
base, yeah.
Now, there are a few things left behind, but not anything that strikes me as being massively important. You know, if you were going away, you're fleeing a place you're worried war might get to, you wouldn't necessarily take your cutlery or a book of fairy tales, would you?
Am I aware of any creature that speaks primordial?
You know of several. Elementals more than anything else.
Yeah, just wondering if that was.
You know, creatures from
Would live like this. Like,
Who lives in a house like this?
pretty big gaff.
I think we've learned a little bit here. Shall we carry on heading upwards? I think we should head up towards the temple. That looks the most important place.
Yeah, all the statues on the temple in the middle.
they were on the outskirts of the temple, sort of on a ring around it.
Yes, not on the walls that we're near.
No.
Yeah. So
Alright.
head on in.
You continue exploring through the city. You do find that there is a few things that are sort of...
Stealthily.
Stealthily.
Everyone make stealth checks then, please.
As advised.
Come on, Panda. No, you go first. Oh.
Let's all do it
Oh,
together.
With disadvantage though,
Nice.
so
Oh.
you go next.
How
See,
big?
should have gone first.
Ah, my dice
How
are
wide are
failing
the
me.
streets?
Streets are pretty wide. They're easily wide enough for a cart to go
Okay, cool.
along.
Cool.
With a good bit of distance either side. Think one-way street, effectively, or a large
Yeah.
one-way street.
Natural one.
5.
You
I
okay?
couldn't remember if I rolled a 2 or a 3.
Okay.
8 for Desh
Yes.
and 25 for me.
Fuck.
Okay, so Klaus is alright.
Pal?
12? Sorry?
Well, one was a natural 20, but I rolled a disadvantage, so 4.
Welcome.
13.
Woo!
Was I the highest?
Apart from
Oh.
No.
Klaus.
25.
Oh, 25. I missed the 25.
You were so stealthy you didn't hear him say
Yes.
25.
Yeah.
Okay.
It must have been the wind.
We're not used to being stealthy. We're not a stealthy group. It's just like our first time where we've actually had to be like sneak.
Alright.
Sneak.
So you make your way through
That's probably what you're doing. 'cause
Sneak.
with that one,
Yeah.
sneaking music. Ding,
Guys,
ding,
guys,
ding,
we gotta
ding,
stay
ding.
sneaky. Shh, gotta stay quiet, guys.
As you are going through this, you do recognise that there are.
Stop talking. Shh. Be quiet.
You do find that there are stairs that are leading up into the various rings. There are also tunnels that cut straight through the middle of the stack that go to the other side rather than going around the
Makes sense.
circumference. They're just seeing they have some of these sort of crisscrossing at various points, basically cutting, bisecting it into quarters. As you go up, the next level is also more residential, but slightly nicer. Then you're getting more into what would seem to be the retail, commercial area.
Let's get a massage.
Then you're going up higher again. You're coming into more what looks like you're getting into the sort of the upper crust area of there, and then you're reaching into the religious sector at the top, which is getting closer to the temple. As you're going through, you do notice that there are signs that denote a name, which Winston translates for you as Fossfinger, which suggests that's the name of this place, or at least it was once upon a time.
I hope everyone else is writing this down because I'm not.
Relating to Voss, the
God.
father god.
Foss the father, yes.
No shade from
Finger.
Mark. I was trying to think
Fingers.
if you want to get a finger.
Get a finger from Foss.
I'm probably spelling this wrong.
Wonder which one it is.
Definitely in the middle. Could be a thumb, who knows? You can live here.
I'm not thinking.
There's another one on the other side.
As you climb up to the to the statues, you can see that there are the statues of all of the 6 gods, not including Vedum, for Vedum was not existent at the time of this place being constructed. But it is a
So it's 600.
Parthenon-like construction, sort of towers, big elevated ceiling, statue of the gods, carvings in the floor, mosaics of the various gods, and some various acts and stories that you can see. You can see over in a section that is between Foss and let's try to remember Physis, where there is discussions of. It looks like they're talking about making bets and having deals being done. Physis being the god of sort of merchants and trade. No, sorry, that's Polites. Polites, not Physis. Physis is the nature god. My apologies. 2 P gods. Get the names right.
You need to have a little cheat sheet.
I do need to. I did have one in the previous campaign, but it was for the Greek god, so I knew that off the top of my head. There are signs of Hector, standing tall and in his lionid form, with sword drawn, ready to lead into battle. Alpida, who is ready to speak with the women. And it seems to be that it's conversations of fertility and helping birth new children. Skia, the mother, sort of stood facing away from the sun, so facing on the southern side, looking out away with her back to the sun, as if ready to lead off into the darkness, as it seems to be symbolising, as she is the guide to the afterlife. As you're sort of looking around, all of this is meticulously maintained as well. Like, this is all incredibly clean for a place that birds could very easily just fly in and just stay here, and it's sheltered. So even with some fairly good storms, the likelihood is that the mosaics should not be this clean.
Is this like marble?
Yeah, it's marble light, yeah. It's definitely a stone, a hard stone.
you say? I will use stone cunning!
Make the most of it.
I can't remember what the plus was again now.
It's
Plus 9.
plus 9?
18 total.
18? Okay. This stone is... This structure is older than the bridge outside. Yes.
Interesting. Wait, the structure's older than the bridge? Okay. I mean,
Yes.
that kind of makes sense, but also interesting.
So it's entirely possible that the bridge was constructed at a later point,
Yes.
as were the walls. The walls are newer than the rest of the structure, so it seems that the walls were built at some point after the city. And it seems like this stone is not native to this exact spot.
Ooh, that's interesting.
It seems like it's been brought here. The statues are even older than the temple itself.
So the statues have also been brought here?
Yes.
Or the temple was put up around the statue after the statues?
The stone of the statues is a similar type of stone as the stone of the temple,
Okay.
which is not native to this area.
So they were brought here then,
Yes.
most likely. Okay. Interesting. What tools were used to cut the mosaic tiles? Can I tell that?
Let him have his moment.
I mean, from what you can tell, it was just some sort of sharp, like mosaic carving
Pointy stick,
tools.
mate.
Pointy stick.
Pointed stick.
Pointed stick.
I wanted to know. I was trying to suss whether there was like more magical things or not, but it sounds like it's just hard graph. So.
One person.
Someone it's their life's work. They've gone, I have finished, and then they fell over dead
Yeah,
immediately because
probably,
they've nothing else to live for.
And their ghost has stayed here to keep it clean and receive
And
everything.
they now possess Cassian to sweep everything up.
Why am I sweeping? Why?
I will relay some of this, but more like as a
Thanks, Adam.
gentle musing rather than.
As we established, these are
These
proper
statues
conversation.
are older than everything else.
Yeah.
This rock be old.
So why do we think? Why have I gone pirates? Why?
Who
Why?
are we?
Why? Because we're at the sea.
We're above the ocean.
Why is everything so clean?
because someone's cleaning it.
But
Would be the simple solution.
who's cleaning it?
We haven't found them yet.
Could it be something magic, like the magic that's keeping the locks working?
Potentially.
Are there any other runes engraved in that are flickering?
Nothing like what you've seen before. There is carvings in some of the pillars, and they are stories that have been told, that have been carved into the pillars that you are able to have translated for you. Winsome is sort of
read the
able to
story.
translate some of the stories. So one of the ones that does talk about is one that is aligned with the mosaic that's set up. It is a story of how Phos and Polites came to divide the domain over luck and over gambling and such. It was essentially where Polites, after Polites had made a wager with Skier about the transport of humans, and whether humans could return, or mortals rather, could return to the material plane and could achieve the blessed life of Lumet multiple times. He got into a debate with his father over whether or not mortals were worthy in other ways, and basically was seeing how easy they are to manipulate. And they started making a series of escalating bets over getting mortals to do different things, like building a statue in an odd place, like carving a great statue from a tree without killing the tree, and then having the tree continue to grow in such a way, and it just a series of odd and obscure bets that just kept escalating, basically pranks on mortals, but just escalating in some way. But eventually, Polites Polites won by way of Phos sort of losing patience and sort of running out of ideas more than anything else. But there is stories of the way that they had made these bets were with coin, effectively, or silver metallic disc, or gold metallic disc that were traded between them, that were used to influence things in such a way. And after Polites won the Horde, effectively, he separated them and scattered them across the realm. They're known as the Coins of Destiny, or Coins of Fate.
Ooh.
It's not chocolate.
God damn.
I forgot that was an item.
By the sound of it, your coin is not one of those.
It was a slightly magical coin,
It was a slightly magical coin, yes.
which I've got to have.
Everyone had hope.
But I do hold up a random gold coin. Because I have some.
Yes, you do.
It's all the magical coins in the world.
There's nothing on the location of these.
there anything on the properties of them?
Only that they were, when used by mortals, would twist their fate in some way.
Oh, apologies.
Could be useful if we can find them, but again, I suppose that's something we
Probably just nothing more than a tail.
something to keep our eyes out for as we wander around. Speaking of wandering, should we wander in and have a look at the inside of the temple? I mean, this is all.
This is all the interior of the temple.
Oh wait, there's not sort of like a.
An entrance hall.
Yeah, I was sort of imagining the mosaics and things being like around a courtyard and their temple in the middle. But it's
No,
sort
they're
of
carved in the
part-
floor.
Part of one complex.
Yes.
Okay.
Elijah was here.
I mean, we could go off and explore a bit more of the city, but if something is cleaning it, this place looks very clean. Maybe it's the place they've come to most often. If we wanted to find out what it is, we could wait around here a bit.
Someone make something dirty.
I was about to say, can I throw a bit of a ration on the floor?
Sure.
Yeah.
You take a bit and throw it on the ground. You wait a couple of seconds. Bird comes in, just takes it, flies off.
That's the answer.
Birds, they keep it clean.
And what about the bird poop?
They're respectful birds.
What about the doors?
It's very well made door.
Can I take the end of my burnt torch
Mm-hmm.
and just draw a line on the ground?
Sure. You just take it
No, not even on the ground.
Just refresh.
On a wall.
on a wall. Okay. You find a nearby wall of just an old house and just draw something on it.
I made a mark.
That's just vandalism.
Do we want to move somewhere?
Yeah.
In
I said, yeah, give it some room.
Yeah.
Give the wall some space.
Give the walls some space. Take cover.
Okay.
Like
Make
wine, it needs to breathe.
make new stealth checks if you are hiding
Sure.
in a place of observation.
No.
What could possibly go
Yeah.
wrong? Ooh! That's relatively stealthy.
Let's start this side.
12.
12.
10.
Unnatural 20.
God.
17.
And for Dash.
3.
5.
14.
Okay, so Dash is sort of stood behind one of the columns, but he stood side on. So both his head and his tail are poking out from behind it. As you sort of have hidden in his recent place. You stand for about 10, 15 minutes or so before you start seeing something start to move. And you see this.
Just with a little dustpan and brush. Just each eye's just got a clean minute.
Yeah.
One's
Just a little
got
maid's
glove,
apron on.
One's got a bucket.
Each eye has one of its those little frilly hats.
Yeah! Feather duster.
Each one's like a different cleaning agent, stone cleaner, glass cleaner, metal cleaner.
If it wasn't, you know it
An
has
eye
to be
for
now,
every
right?
occasion.
Yeah.
One for vinegar.
No, it is a. What?
That's a rat.
That one's more funny because I imagine it having the little arms.
What?
I can't get to the wall because my head's so big.
You see a rectangular slab of thick green ooze just slowly flowing across the floor. Twisting metallic veins and strange lights illuminate its translucent interior. And as it moves along, it seems to split. It's not, huge. It's like a humanoid size, maybe 5x5. As it to the wall, and then the small pseudopod just. Everyone make a perception check for me, please.
So cool.
Perception.
Yes.
Well, shit. Okay. Keep it. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm just going
Cassian.
11.
Elijah?
24.
Klaus?
12.
Natural 20.
Damn!
11.
11 as well.
Okay, so you two in particular notice this. As it is sort of going and reaching, actually, so the rest of you notice it going up as it raises the pseudopod and just sort of wipes down it. The mark disappears. You two notice, sort of paying close attention, inside this gelatinous creature, there are small.
It's silly. He's
like-
smiling. He's smiling. It's a silly thing he's about to say.
It's because I can see
Small
Matt.
elven faces.
Yeah! Humanoid looking faces!
It's because I looked at Matt, who was, as I was saying, gelatinous.
You said gelatinous, so I was like,
Yeah. I was like,
No.
5 by 5.
5 by 5.
There are
Rectangular.
Say rectangular.
many tiny little, like almost like construct things that are going through
D&D nanobots.
and are cleaning the wall and taking. Going,
Gimme.
I'm actually
So
going to write
it
this
uses
down.
basically
D
like a
and D.
kind of transport system for minuscule robots.
It's a Swiss Army slime, yeah.
D&D nanobots inside.
Is this how Tony Stark actually did it?
Yes.
He
But
was
he-
actually just a big slime.
takes off the stain and then sort of shivers for a second. And then as it moves off, there is a very small lump of coal that has been left behind from the carbon.
He pooped in. Does he not seem bothered by us?
Hasn't noticed you.
Hello?
No.
Oh my god.
Turns vaguely in your direction. You're not entirely certain how it's turning because it has 6 faces, but it has no face. Geometry joke.
Sides.
And it's just looked
That's
at
a
you.
certain type of nerd.
Hello there. I see you've been keeping this place clean. That's nice of you. Is it your job, or are you doing this voluntarily? Have you been here long?
Moves closer. And then sort of stops about 60 feet and then goes. It seems to have only just noticed you. It seems like you were too far away for it to recognise you, effectively.
We were out of the range of its sensors.
Yeah,
It's got a squint. I had to turn the
How
radio
far
down.
away
Pulls
is
his
it?
glasses up.
60 feet.
Oh, 60 feet.
Yeah.
Put some monocle on.
Pulls out a telescope.
Hello, can you communicate? Give us a wave.
Oh.
I think it understands.
Ask if it's friendly.
Hi, my name's Cesario. Are you okay with us being here visiting your city?
Yeah, he doesn't even say it anymore. You just
Mason.
hear the sound. Just from a distance.
It does not seem to react to your questioning.
Bong.
I'm not sure, but it seems like it's maybe just a cleaning thing. It doesn't seem too bothered by us.
Well, now we know.
Yeah.
Okay. Time to pillage.
Hang on.
And on that note,
It seems friendly.
let's get it.
Let's teach it moral.
Let's teach it not to trust.
How big? Oh no, hang on.
5 by 5.
Yeah, I was sort of, could this have got down the stairs where the in that house we visited? But if it's humanoid size, it probably could, couldn't
It's
it?
5 by 5. You can just,
Yeah.
it's like a very slow slinky.
In fact, it doesn't answer the question. But, well, maybe. Wait, I don't think it could oil a door. Maybe it could.
It just goops a door.
Do they
It
just,
just kind of
goops in?
rubs against it.
Do you do anything to a door? Can you show us?
Turns and goes towards one of the houses nearby. You can see that there's a hinge on one of the outside external windows. It's got like shutters, like you see in like a Spanish villa, where it just sort of covers over and just protects it a little bit. And it just goes over, goes across it. And you can see that just taking away the rust and cleaning it
I
up.
think it must have been this
Yeah.
that's been doing everything. Well, Good job. Good job. We appreciate it.
Maybe there are more.
I hope so. It'd be nice for it to have friends.
Aww.
It's time to collect another pet.
My question is, what happened to all the people in here?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seems to be able to understand us, but it can't really say much back.
Have you ever cleaned people before?
It starts slowly moving towards
Give us
you.
one wave for yes, 2 waves for no.
That was a cube wave.
Pseudopod comes out and just.
Was that one wave or two? I can't tell.
That was 2. It's not creepy before. Wait, have you seen? Were you here when people lived here? Wow, this thing's old.
How old are you? Wave that amount of times.
He's doing the secret signals!
I thought he was doing a Kermit the Froggy.
There are 2 ways you can take that sort of gesture, depending on your upbringing.
Is there anything you need from us? Anything we can help with?
No? Yes? In three?
And then it just points at you.
Oh, okay. If there's something you'd like me to look at, lead me to it.
Make an insight check on this thing.
It wants to clean you.
You must be clean.
It's hard to read.
You must be cleansed.
9.
9? It doesn't seem like it was asking for you. It was more a question. It was responding to your question with a question.
Oh, now it's answering back.
Asking if there's anything we need. Maybe.
Yes.
Or
More likely.
you.
Are there any books or anything that are still intact? We were interested in the stories in the temple. Is there anything else like that? No more stories.
Oh no, sorry, that was a singular. My hand
Oh.
moved too many times.
You seem to be communicating well, so can you ask if I can study it, please?
Can we come a bit closer?
Can we come a bit closer? I mean, it's not just me that has to do the talking. It seems to understand us, which is interesting.
I just don't want to ruin the good thing that you've got going on.
It seems to. It gives its consent with a singular wave.
I will approach.
Okay.
Cautiously.
Fairly cautiously, yeah. Fairly.
Okay.
One step at a time.
I will take the end of my cigar
Yeah.
and just tap it against it.
What, the hot end?
I mean, it's not lit
Oh,
at
it's
the
not
moment.
lit, okay. Okay.
But, I mean,
It just sort of glows a little bit around the cigar.
It takes it.
does I pull it away? Is it like
It would. It's pretty
Hasn't
hasn't done anything to it? So
No.
it seems like it's a conscious effort by this thing to clean stuff when it wants to,
Yes.
and not just it's like acidic, for example,
Yes.
or something like that.
Correct.
Cleans because it can.
I'm going to poke you with my finger if that's okay.
Because I care.
Shivers like a jelly.
You get vacuum into it.
It grows
That's the last
suddenly.
bit.
And thus Grace died.
What does it? Goes around your glove
Yes.
and just starts to repair a small hole in there.
I didn't even know that was there. I'm really angry about that.
I can't believe you just
Okay.
took that enjoyment away from it.
This thing's amazing. It cleans, it fixes stuff, it can communicate.
Can you just clean inside this bag, please?
Forever.
Okay, let's get out of here.
Just every so often, a tentacle just comes out. Not the bag of holding,
Round
just
the
cleans
rim.
I
something.
mean, I do like my armour clean, so having it around could be quite useful.
End of a battle day, just belly flopping into it.
The number of hours I would get back.
You do clean that armour. A lot. A lot.
Clearly not
There's
enough.
nothing past here.
As you're sort of standing there and it's sort of fixing more time, it's one of another pseudopod just sort of comes out and just rests on your breastplate.
Excuse you.
What, out of the thing?
Out of the thing, just
Oh, yeah.
onto your breastplate. And as it sort of spends a little bit of time there, you start to see words being carved
Oh,
into
Jesus.
the breastplate.
All right, well then.
7 days.
You will die.
2 minds. No, I'm not going to slap it away.
Okay.
Whoever wears this is the property of Cuban.
It says
Being written in what language?
it's being written in common.
Oh.
But it's listening to us in common.
That is true.
So maybe
It seems to be able to at least understand you, whether it is just part of
That's
its
true. I forgot
construct.
that we were all talking common.
Yeah.
I'm less impressed now.
Yeah. It just starts carving. The words start being carved into there, and it just says, "More of us,
Ooh.
known as fabricators."
Fabricators.
Interesting. And then you just watch as the words then are wiped away, and it just starts like it's like a typewriter on your chest,
He's using
effectively.
you as an etch-a-sketch.
Yeah.
Just gonna shake you afterwards.
Rattle like it.
Hive collectiveness built this city.
Built by the people who built the city.
We were before the city,
Ooh.
but used to create it.
This thing's just about to put us all out for a job, basically.
Are you
For hire?
essentially? Are you fixed to this city?
Yes,
Are others of you fixed to this city?
some have escaped.
Oh.
Escaped what? The city?
The boundaries.
Okay. Not a thing. Very nervous.
Do you want to escape?
No.
Basically, we
Why are you
Pokemon.
still here?
This is home.
what happened to the people?
The gods.
Would you like people back?
Yes. Would like to be useful.
Aww.
We would like to be useful, rather.
Why haven't you rebuilt the bridge yet?
It's outside the boundary.
Not enough material.
Why
You
they took
could show
wood
the
in
nice
house.
thing, the designs for your saddle.
It might make a saddle for you.
Could you make this?
Yes. With materials.
I mean, we've got that boar hide.
Ghost boar hides.
I mean,
Dash ethereal.
Yeah, would that... Or would it just make part of him invisible?
Just his blood, the part that I'm
Just his
sat
like
on.
middle part.
Yeah, just makes it him incorporeal. You can just fall through it every time.
Have you ever made anything magical?
Yes.
Well, shit.
That's a very certain yes
This
as
is
well.
a game changer.
Very magical when you went.
Bitch, please.
that was year one.
It's harder to make mundane things now.
Do you know an easier way across to the mainland?
No.
Oh, great.
What materials would you need to remake the bridge?
Stone or wood or rope. Stone or wood or hemp.
Hmm.
I just happen to know where you can get 300 feet of
Depends what you want the bridge to be made of.
Can you... Can't you mine stone out of the ground here?
Mining stone from here would weaken integrity.
Of course.
Why not just take out a few of the houses? Will that do the same thing?
It has been worked. We would not want to destroy what has been worked. Grade 2.
Yeah.
Grade 2 listed building.
If we brought you materials, what's money? Brought you materials, could you build a bridge?
Maybe.
We like a challenge.
All we have to do is get like 3 tons of timber across that road.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
I wonder if it could come out to the
The
Don't work
water,
that
we just
way.
push it in. Delivered.
We just put it on the back of there.
It could come along the road.
Would the materials have to be in big chunks, or could you take little bits and turn it into a big bridge?
In this configuration, can only make as large as myself.
Oh, okay.
Can you change configuration?
Yes. We can come together.
Can you make a bridge out of yourselves?
No, not enough of us.
That would have been really easy.
The bridge.
Can you make more of yourselves?
No.
Who made you?
Name is long forgotten.
Of course. Convenient, isn't it, for the DM?
But did a god make you?
No, mortal.
Mortal
Ooh.
made you. How long ago?
The number is unimportant.
7,000 lunar cycles.
Oh, that's...
Solar cycles.
There we go. I was going to say...
Seasonal rotations. That's the, yeah, not 7,000.
The
No,
city
days.
is 4,000, did we say? And the bridge was 1,000. But this is 7,000.
So,
They said they were here before the city.
were you brought to this city?
Yes.
Where are you from?
Well, we were.
Tied to this city.
Sorry, rephrase. Brought to the stack to then build. Mined the area around.
Where
to
were you
construct.
before?
All over.
And you're not all the same, because you don't want to escape, but some didn't have escaped.
Some were disconnected from the hive. Formed their own consciousness.
Went rogue.
Or just left. Just got out of the Wi-Fi
Got his
connection.
own
Just started working on
mind.
3G.
Bored.
I've had enough of cleaning.
Was digging stone, forgot where it came from. Carried on going.
It's just like Wally. It's like Wally. Aww. He just keeps cleaning. He's the last
He's got to the
one.
level now where he's not really cleaning. He's over polishing to the point where people open doors and go,
Damn.
"Wow,
So smooth.
I've never opened a door like this before." Like when you've never been to a really fancy hotel before and you open it and be like, "No."
This is no effort at all.
Yeah, when the toilet opens itself.
Yeah.
Did the people die, or were they taken?
Unsure.
Do you sleep?
No.
Interesting.
Have you seen any humans recently?
No.
Why no birds?
There are birds.
Clean
Actually, no. Probably a better question. It probably wouldn't have perceived them because it's only got 60-foot sight.
When
What?
you
What a bird.
clean things,
Yes.
what does that feel like?
My purpose.
Grit asking the deep
What is
questions.
God?
What is purpose? What is she?
Describe blue.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you a series of pictures. You're going to tell me what
You
each
already
one
see.
makes you feel.
Just a blob.
I'm going to hold them 61 feet away.
Are you angry about the ones that left?
No. We do not have emotions
That's what I was trying to say.
Hmm.
other than murderous intent.
Also, what I'm trying to say.
The cube.
Preach.
It just turns red and just murder in its eyes.
Grows 6 times bigger.
Grows eyes and then something
Bleeds.
bleeds. We can kill it. It does not bleed. Uh-oh.
Hold up.
So, guys, what do we want to do?
Well, I'm going to keep it.
You want to keep it as a pet?
Can you just make one
Can't
saddle?
leave the city.
Can't leave the city, and it's clearly
Not by choice.
clearly intelligent. We can't take it away from where it wants to
I
be.
wouldn't. I don't want to take it away. Smokey wanted to come with me. I did ask him. I didn't just pick him up and take him with me, but
Smokey just
I asked you.
Smokey took the safer option.
You gave me your consent to come.
I think
yes.
Thank you.
I think this would be a good place to bring people to Cecil.
Well, it'll keep it happy.
Yeah, and there's a whole city here.
Once some kind of bridge is created, because it'd be difficult to get supplies here.
Yeah.
The river runs down into this place, doesn't it?
The river starts here. It doesn't run into it. The sea surrounds it, and then the river then flows north.
No
And
water
it
touches
goes
the
north
city.
to where the rivers meet. Where
Yes.
Yeah, because I was thinking there was a load of bricks and lumber at... I can't
Yeah.
remember what we named it now.
Newfound Town.
Newfound Town. If we could...
float it.
float them down.
The water's going the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can
You
still
get canal cows and pull them along.
Or you could paddle.
yeah,
With
punt.
cows.
Yeah, just get some, but do it like with horses and they did with
Also-
the canal boat.
Yeah.
I feel like creating a bridge might disturb the bees.
Do you know
Other
anything-
bees are
Do
problem.
you know anything about the bees?
What are bees?
Oh.
60-foot sight.
They're flying things we saw outside the city. Maybe they don't come here.
Have
Well,
you
they
heard?
weren't bothered by us.
Have you heard the humming?
Only the frequency of which we connect.
Fair.
The EE network.
What's your name?
We do not have a designation.
You could name them.
Yeah.
I'm so fluffy, I'm gonna die!
Mellow.
Mellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mellow Jello.
Mellow Jello.
He seems a cool guy.
Well, the first thing we'd have to do is tell people that it's here. Do we want to?
I think we wait first, then we sort the bridge out, then we tell people, or we tell people then
We leave them to
just
build the
yeah.
bridge, because if we can either stay here and build Newfound Town 2, or we
Newfound Town
can
Strikes Back.
This place
Make-
already has a name.
another
It does. yes.
mark on the map and
Bridge
come
together.
back later and keep going to the canyon, or we can work here for a bit.
I mean, there's not really any work to do apart from
Place is pretty
materials
mid.
for a bridge.
You found.
I think it's just Newfound Town.
Newfound Town.
Just
New
do an
York.
American style.
Yeah, yeah.
Just add new on it.
New Fossfinger.
Yeah, new Fossfinger.
New false finger.
Boss Pinky.
Is there any interesting artifacts or objects or stuff here.
Yes.
Can you show us where they are?
Yes.
If we wanted to, could we take those away with us?
Unsure.
We could ask you for each thing that we might find.
compute.
Unsure.
That's fine.
Okay. Can you
1011.
show us where they are, and we'll say.
Error.
Please.
Error 404. No, it's not complete.
Okay, so you with your
Option
new
not found.
fabricator friend start to make your way down the southern side of the city. As you're coming over the crest, you can see that there is a second stack, much smaller one, that is
Second thumb.
on the sort of southern side that's looking over. And it does have a couple of buildings upon it, and there is a bridge that connects those two. They are much closer together, it's maybe 100 feet or so. But there is something that connects those two. But that does not connect to the mainland either. But as you head down, you look as if you are walking towards that stack, and that is where we will pick up next time. As I kick the camera again. Sorry, everyone.
We are leaving.
Whoa,
I think this bridge is a bit unstable.
It's a swinging bridge.
I didn't really need to write that, did I?
There you
I was
go.
like, oh my god, I've actually used 2 pages
I
this
used 2
session.
pages,
And
yeah.
it's like, no, I
you
can
go.
keep it to 1 page.
Found some
Nice.
things have happened.
I filled 2 pages and I haven't written anything about Mello. I just like put Foss finger because I thought Mello would attack.
Single S for Foss.
Oh, I didn't know if it was possible then.
Foss.
Floss.
Floss
So,
finger.
thank you for being here, everyone. We are going to disappear off and head into the night. Let's see if there's anyone to raid, because we have got a couple of people here.
No.
Don't think there is anyone in particular.
It's Friday night.
No, there's no one in particular.
Friday night.
That'd shut the computer off. That would have been.
I did it very carefully.
So yeah, we are going to head off. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. We will see you next week on Wednesday. We'll be back playing a board game of some description. Next Friday, you don't know. Keep an eye on our social media. We may not be playing. We'll see what happens. We will come back and let you know. But keep an eye on our social media. We will let you know. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. We'll take care of yourselves and good night.